Most people want to improve their lives, but they wait. They wait for motivation, for clarity, for the perfect timing to finally change everything. But the harsh truth is this: if the mind doesn't change, nothing else will. A better life isn't something that just happens. It's something built, choice by choice, thought by thought. And it all begins from within. But don't worry, this is about to change your life. What you're about to hear is more than background audio. These are 3 hours of timeless Stoic teachings, simple, powerful, and deeply transformative. Words designed to reshape how you think, how you react, and how you move through each day with purpose. Comment below: I am ready to improve every day. So not only your subconscious, but the universe itself knows that tonight something begins. This is your silent declaration that you're no longer waiting for the right time. You're creating it. As you drift off to sleep, these ancient voices will settle into the deeper parts of your mind, planting quiet strength, thoughtful awareness, and steady focus. You'll begin to let go of distractions, excuses, and anything that no longer serves the life you're building. This isn't just sleep. It's training, restoration, a reset. Because a better life doesn't arrive all at once. It's built slowly through better thoughts, better habits, and a better mind. And by the time you wake up, your next day won't just feel different. It will be. Did you know that the secret to transforming your life's biggest challenges into your greatest opportunities might have been discovered over 2,000 years ago? Imagine facing life's storms with a calm so powerful nothing could shake your inner peace. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, it's not just a fantasy. This ancient superpower, it's an age-old philosophy that's as practical today as it was in the bustling markets and marble halls of ancient Rome and Greece. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control every aspect of our lives, we have absolute power over how we choose to react. And in today's world, where uncertainty seems to be the only certainty, these teachings could be the anchor we've all been searching for. What if I told you that Stoicism is more about action than thought? It's about living a life filled with purpose, resilience, and happiness, no matter what life throws your way. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but understanding and managing them to lead a more fulfilling life. So whether you're dealing with stress, facing adversity, or simply looking to find more joy in the everyday, stick around. Today we're diving deep into Stoicism, uncovering its timeless wisdom and discovering how it can transform not just the way we think, but the way we live. If you're eager to embark on this journey of transformation, don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that like button. Stick with me till the end without skipping, because every moment of this video is a step towards uncovering the Stoic wisdom that can change your life. Focusing on what's in your control. Have you ever found yourself stuck in traffic, fuming over the delay, or scrolling through your phone only to get upset over a negative comment someone left on your post? It happens to the best of us. It's almost like our day-to-day life is filled with these little tests, challenging our mood and our peace of mind at every turn. But here's a game-changing perspective from the world of Stoicism that can turn all that frustration on its head. Stoicism, this incredible philosophy that dates back to ancient Greece and Rome, hands us this powerful tool, focusing on what's in our control. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that for a second. Traffic, bad weather, negative comments, these are all outside our control. We can't change them, no matter how much we wish we could. What we can change, however, is how we react to them. This idea isn't just ancient wisdom, it's backed by modern psychology too. Carl Jung, a giant in the field of psychology, famously stated, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." This aligns perfectly with the Stoic practice. It's about recognizing that the only real power we have is over our own reactions, thoughts, and actions. Let's break it down a bit. Say you're in that traffic jam, late for an important meeting. You can spend that time stewing in anger, honking your horn, and stressing out, which, let's be honest, won't make the cars ahead move any faster. Or you can take a deep breath, accept the situation, and maybe use the time to listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or simply enjoy some music. The traffic hasn't changed, but your response to it has. And with that shift, your stress levels drop, and your day looks a bit brighter. This Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control extends far beyond just dealing with traffic or weather. It applies to our personal goals, our reactions to others, and our approach to obstacles in life. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic heavyweight, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So next time you find yourself getting worked up over something outside your control, remember these wise words from our Stoic friends. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. Focus on your reaction, your mindset, and your actions. This simple shift can have a profound impact on your stress levels and overall happiness. It's not always easy, but it's worth practicing every day. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. And as we learn to focus more on what's in our control, we'll find ourselves not just surviving life's challenges, but thriving in spite of them. Stoicism teaches us the art of embracing obstacles as opportunities. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Most of us are programmed to view obstacles as just that, barriers to our success and happiness. But Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus flip this narrative on its head. Embracing obstacles as opportunities. They tell us when life throws you a curveball, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn?" This is a game changer. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, penned in his personal writings, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What he means here is that every obstacle, no matter how daunting, not only tests our resilience, but also teaches us valuable lessons. It's about finding the silver lining in tough situations and using it to fuel our growth. This perspective isn't just ancient philosophy. It's backed by modern thinkers too. The famous psychologist Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists." By fighting against obstacles, we give them more power over us, but by accepting and learning from them, we can overcome them. This Stoic mindset is about transforming challenges into stepping stones towards becoming stronger and wiser. Let's make it practical. Say you're facing rejection from job applications. It's easy to fall into a spiral of self-pity and doubt, but what if you viewed each rejection as feedback? Maybe there's a skill you need to improve or a new strategy for your job search. That shift in perspective can turn a series of rejections into a path for professional development. Another example is personal conflicts. They're uncomfortable and stressful, but they also offer a chance to practice patience, empathy, and communication skills. Every disagreement is an opportunity to understand different viewpoints and to refine our conflict resolution abilities. The essence of embracing obstacles as opportunities lies in asking ourselves, what can this situation teach me? Instead of being passive victims of circumstance, we become active learners and problem solvers. This doesn't mean that facing obstacles becomes easy, but it does mean that we approach them with a mindset geared towards growth and learning. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the heart of Stoicism. It's about seeing beyond the immediate pain or frustration of an obstacle and finding the lessons and opportunities it presents. So when you're faced with a challenge, big or small, try to pause and reframe it. Ask yourself what you can learn from the situation and how it can make you stronger and wiser. Remember, obstacles aren't just hurdles to overcome, they're opportunities to grow. By adopting this Stoic mindset, we can navigate life's ups and downs with more grace, resilience, and wisdom. It's something we hear about all the time, right? Live in the now. But what does that really mean, and why is it so important? Living in the present moment is about fully embracing and experiencing where you are at this very second, not letting your mind wander off to the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday. It's about realizing that life, with all its beauty, challenges, and surprises, happens in the now. This concept isn't new. It's been a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, echoed by great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. And it's been reiterated by modern psychologists and thinkers. Let's start with the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Living in the present moment. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." He understood that the power of living in the present lies in its ability to ground us, to clear our minds of distractions, and to allow us to appreciate the richness of life as it unfolds. But why is it so hard to stay present? Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts, worries about what's next, or replaying things that have already happened. This constant mental noise pulls us away from the beauty and potential of the here and now. As the famous psychologist Carl Jung put it, "The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it." Living in the present moment gives meaning to the small, everyday experiences, enriching our lives beyond measure. Aristotle talked about the importance of being mindful of the present to achieve eudaimonia, a state of being happy, healthy, and prosperous. He believed that by focusing on the here and now, we could live a virtuous life, making the most of our human experience. So how can we practice living in the present? It starts with mindfulness, the art of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you eat, savor each bite. When you walk, notice the feeling of the ground under your feet. Listen actively when someone is speaking to you instead of planning what you're going to say next. These simple acts of mindfulness bring us back to the present, making our lives richer and more meaningful. Seneca offered this wisdom: "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." He understood that anxiety about what's to come or what has been only serves to diminish our happiness in the now. Living in the present isn't about ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It's about finding a balance where we learn from our past and plan for our future without letting those activities consume our present. It's in this balance that we find peace and contentment. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to reset and refocus on the now. It's in the present that we live, love, and make memories. So let's make a conscious effort to be more present in our lives. Let's cherish the now, for this moment right here is where life truly happens. I know the word self-discipline might bring to mind images of rigid schedules and a life devoid of fun, but let's reshape that picture together. Self-discipline is not about restricting your life. It's about empowering yourself to make choices that align with your deepest values and long-term aspirations. It's choosing what's right for you, not what's easy in the moment. At its core, building self-discipline is about mastery over ourselves. It's about saying yes to things that serve us and no to things that don't, even when it's tough. Think about it. Whether it's sticking to a workout routine, saving money instead of impulse buying, or turning off Netflix to focus on a project, these choices might not deliver instant gratification, but they pave the way for long-term satisfaction and success. Stoic philosophy has a lot to say about self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This powerful statement highlights the essence of self-discipline. It's about controlling our impulses, building self-discipline, emotions and actions despite the external temptations and distractions that life throws our way. Seneca offers wisdom on the subject too. He advises us to be steadfast and control our desires rather than being controlled by them. He understood that true freedom comes from within, from our ability to govern ourselves and our appetites. But why is self-discipline so critical? Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, sheds light on this. He believed that we achieve excellence and virtue through habit. By practicing self-discipline, we cultivate habits that lead us toward our best selves. It's not about occasional acts of willpower, but about consistently making choices that reflect our values and goals. Building self-discipline also ties into modern psychological understanding. Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, emphasized the importance of integrating all aspects of our personality to live fully. This integration requires self-discipline, as we must navigate the desires of different parts of our psyche, choosing paths that contribute to our overall well-being and growth. So how can we build self-discipline in our daily lives? Start small. Pick one area you want to improve, whether it's your diet, exercise routine, or spending habits. Set clear, achievable goals and take it one day at a time. Remember, every time you make a choice that aligns with your goals, you're building the muscle of self-discipline. Epictetus reminds us, "No great thing is created suddenly." Self-discipline is built through small, consistent actions. It's about progress, not perfection. Every day presents new opportunities to practice self-discipline, to choose actions that move us closer to who we want to be. Building self-discipline is a journey. It's about finding balance between what we want now and what we want most. It's about making choices that might be hard in the moment, but will bring us closer to our goals, happiness, and peace in the long run. So let's commit to this journey together, supporting one another in choosing what's right, not what's easy. Remember, in the realm of self-discipline lies the path to achieving our dreams and living a life we truly love. When life throws its curveballs, we all experience a whirlwind of emotions. Feeling angry, sad, or frustrated is a natural part of being human. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the emotions we feel, it's about how we handle them. That's where the magic of emotional resilience comes in. Emotional resilience is like this superpower that allows us to navigate through life's storms with grace and come out stronger on the other side. It's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and then taking positive steps to move forward rather than being swept away by the tide of our feelings. The Stoics had a lot to say about this. Marcus Aurelius, for example, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound insight touches the essence of emotional resilience. It's about recognizing that while we might not have control over what happens to us, we have control over how we respond. Developing emotional resilience. Our emotions don't have to control our actions. Seneca offers wisdom on facing adversity without losing our composure. He teaches that life's hardships are tests of our character and resilience. By facing our feelings with understanding and patience, we can grow wiser and more robust. But how do we develop this emotional resilience? It starts with self-awareness. Being mindful of our emotions and reactions helps us understand ourselves better. It's okay to feel what we're feeling, but instead of reacting impulsively, we can choose to respond in a way that aligns with our values and long-term well-being. Aristotle spoke about the golden mean, finding the balance between excess and deficiency. This concept applies beautifully to emotional resilience. It's about finding a balanced response to our emotions, not suppressing them or letting them overpower us. Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, emphasized the importance of integrating all aspects of our psyche to achieve wholeness. Part of this process involves confronting our emotions, understanding them, and learning from them. This is at the heart of developing emotional resilience. So what can you do when you're in the grip of strong emotions? First, give yourself permission to feel. Acknowledge your emotions without judgment. Then, take a step back and try to understand what triggered these feelings. This reflection can provide valuable insights into your emotional patterns and triggers. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a powerful reminder that our reactions to our emotions can shape our experiences. Instead of being reactive, we can choose to respond in a way that is constructive and healing. Developing emotional resilience is a journey. It involves practicing mindfulness, self-reflection, and patience. It's about building a toolkit of coping strategies like journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or practicing relaxation techniques. Most importantly, it's about treating yourself with kindness and compassion as you navigate through your emotions. Emotional resilience is not about never feeling negative emotions. It's about learning to ride the waves of those emotions with grace and coming out on the other side stronger and more self-aware. By developing emotional resilience, we empower ourselves to face life's challenges with courage and poise. Let's embrace this journey together, supporting each other in becoming more emotionally resilient and ultimately living a more fulfilling life. The Stoics, including great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, use this concept not to create fear, but to inspire a deeper appreciation for every moment. They believed that by keeping the inevitability of death in mind, we would live more fully, consciously, and with gratitude for the present. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the transience of life, encouraging us to live in a way that's true to our values and to make the most of the time we're given. "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think," he wrote. This isn't about being morose. It's a call to action, a reminder to focus on what truly matters. Memento Mori, remember you will die. To let go of petty concerns and to live with purpose and integrity. Seneca too spoke about the shortness of life, urging us not to waste time on trivialities, but to focus on creating a meaningful existence. He believed that being mindful of death encourages us to live more wisely and to cherish our relationships and experiences. Epictetus emphasized the importance of focusing on the present and making the best use of our time. By remembering that we won't live forever, we're more likely to live ethically and to appreciate the beauty and richness of life. But how can we incorporate Memento Mori into our own lives without it feeling like a dark cloud over our heads? It starts with shifting our perspective. Instead of seeing the awareness of death as something fearful, we can view it as a powerful motivator to live our lives to the fullest. It's about embracing the present, not postponing our dreams or happiness for some undefined future that's not guaranteed. Think about the things you've been putting off. Maybe it's pursuing a passion, reconnecting with loved ones, or simply taking time to appreciate the small joys of everyday life. Memento Mori reminds us not to take our time for granted. It encourages us to live more authentically, to say what we mean, to love openly, and to be present in our lives. This concept also teaches us to appreciate the impermanence of life, which in turn deepens our gratitude for the moments we have. When we remember that our time is limited, we're more likely to cherish our experiences, to live more mindfully, and to express our gratitude for the people and moments that enrich our lives. So let's use Memento Mori not as a source of fear, but as a catalyst for growth, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation of life. Let it remind us to make choices that align with our deepest values, to cherish our relationships, and to savor the beauty of the present moment. Remembering that we will die one day encourages us to live more fully today. In embracing Memento Mori, we find a powerful reminder to live not in fear of death, but in celebration of life. Let's make every moment count, not because we're afraid of its end, but because we're in love with life itself. Let's live in a way that when our time does come, we can look back with no regrets, knowing we lived fully, loved deeply, and appreciated the incredible journey that life is. It's fascinating how such a simple concept can have a profound impact on our lives. It's about shifting our focus to what we have rather than dwelling on what we're missing. This practice can be a real game changer, especially on those days that feel like an uphill battle. The Stoics, wise as they were, had a lot to say about gratitude. They believed that happiness doesn't come from having more, but from appreciating what we already have. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of focusing on the present and finding joy in the simple things. He said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This is gratitude in its purest form, recognizing the value of life itself and the many gifts it offers us each day. Practicing gratitude. Seneca talked about how our desires can lead us astray, always chasing after more and never finding true satisfaction. He suggested that by focusing on what we have and understanding that the best things in life are already within our grasp, we can find real contentment. Epictetus, known for his practical approach to Stoic philosophy, encouraged his followers to appreciate their current circumstances, whatever they might be. He believed that by accepting and finding value in our present situation, we could live a more fulfilled life. But how do we practice gratitude, especially when life throws curveballs our way? It starts with making it a daily habit. Each morning or evening, Take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. This practice helps to rewire our brains to focus on the positive, boosting our mood and overall outlook on life. Gratitude also means embracing the challenges and finding lessons within them. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can help us appreciate our experiences, both good and bad, as valuable steps on our journey. Moreover, practicing gratitude helps us build stronger connections with others. By expressing appreciation for the people in our lives, we not only brighten their day, but also strengthen our relationships. A simple thank you can go a long way in showing someone that they're valued and loved. Aristotle spoke about the importance of recognizing the good in our lives and striving for a virtuous life. He believed that gratitude was a key part of achieving eudaimonia, or true happiness, as it allows us to appreciate the goodness around us and within ourselves. Even modern psychology supports the benefits of gratitude. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly experience less anxiety, sleep better, and have a more positive outlook on life. It's like Carl Jung said, the word happiness would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. By acknowledging and being grateful for the full spectrum of our experiences, we find a deeper, more authentic form of happiness. So let's make gratitude a cornerstone of our daily lives. Let's celebrate the small victories, cherish the moments of connection, and find joy in the simple pleasures. By focusing on what we have, not what we're missing, we can cultivate a sense of abundance and happiness that shines from within. Remember, it's not happiness that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us happiness. Let's fill our glasses half full, raise them high, and toast to the beauty of gratitude in our lives. Cheers to finding the silver lining, even on the cloudiest of days. The Stoics had a profound understanding of personal excellence. They believed that excellence, or virtue, is the sole good, and that everything we do should aim towards living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, is a prime example of someone who strived for personal excellence. He once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This simple yet powerful statement encapsulates the essence of personal excellence. It's about embodying the values we admire and striving to live by them every day. Focusing on personal excellence. Seneca emphasized the importance of self-improvement and learning. He advocated for a life lived in accordance with nature and reason, suggesting that true excellence comes from within and is reflected in our actions and choices. Epictetus highlighted the role of personal responsibility in achieving excellence. He taught that our reactions, our emotions, and our will are within our control, and mastering them is key to living a life of virtue. But what does focusing on personal excellence look like in our day-to-day lives? It starts with setting personal standards based on our values and aspirations, not societal expectations or the achievements of others. It's about knowing who we are, understanding our strengths and weaknesses, and taking consistent steps towards improvement. Personal excellence is also about resilience. It's about how we respond to setbacks and failures, not just our successes. Like Aristotle said, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. This means embracing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than seeing them as obstacles. Moreover, focusing on personal excellence involves cultivating a growth mindset, a concept championed by modern psychology. It's the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset encourages us to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and see effort as a path to mastery. Personal excellence also means living authentically. It's about being true to ourselves and our values, even when it's not easy. It's about making choices that reflect who we are and who we want to be, and taking pride in our journey, including the struggles and the triumphs. Practicing gratitude, as we discussed earlier, ties into personal excellence too. By appreciating what we have and where we are on our journey, we foster a positive outlook that supports our growth and well-being. So let's commit to focusing on personal excellence. Let's set our own standards, embrace our unique paths, and take pride in our progress. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being proud of who we are and how we live. It's about celebrating our efforts, learning from our experiences, and always striving to be the best versions of ourselves. Together, let's make personal excellence not just a goal, but a way of life. In a world saturated with social media, where likes, follows, and comments often dictate our self-worth, it's easy to fall into the trap of valuing ourselves through the lens of others' opinions. But here's a liberating truth. Your worth isn't based on external validation. It's about being true to yourself, embracing your authenticity, and living in alignment with your values. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers we keep turning to for timeless wisdom, had a lot to say about this. They taught that our inner peace and freedom come from focusing on what's within our control, our actions, our thoughts, our integrity, not the fluctuating opinions of others. Not caring what others think. Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinions of others." This striking observation highlights the paradox many of us live with, valuing others' judgments over our own self-assessment. Seneca echoed this sentiment by emphasizing the importance of living a life true to oneself, not one shaped by the expectations or approval of others. He believed that true contentment comes from within, from living a life that's congruent with our principles and values. Epictetus taught that worrying about others' opinions is outside our control and therefore not worth our energy. He encouraged focusing instead on our own actions and on living virtuously, as that's where our true power lies. So how can we start caring less about what others think and more about being true to ourselves? First, it's about understanding that you are the author of your life story. You have the power to define your worth, not society, not your social media followers, nor the people around you. It's about grounding your self-esteem in who you are, the values you stand for, the kindness you spread, and the effort you put into being your best self. Second, practice self-reflection. Ask yourself, whose life am I living? Am I making choices based on my desires, or am I trying to fit into someone else's mold? Reflecting on these questions can help realign your actions with your true self. Third, embrace vulnerability. Being true to yourself means being open about your flaws and all, understanding that perfection is an illusion. It's okay to be a work in progress, making mistakes and learning from them. This authenticity attracts the right people into your life, those who appreciate the real you. Moreover, remember the words of Aristotle, who spoke about the golden mean, finding balance in life. Applying this to our concern for others' opinions, it's about finding a healthy balance between considering constructive feedback and maintaining our autonomy and self-worth. Incorporating a Stoic mindset into our lives means understanding that our worth is determined by our virtues, our actions, and our commitment to living a meaningful life, not by external accolades or approval. It's about building a strong inner fortress that remains unshaken by the fleeting opinions of others. Let's commit to valuing ourselves for who we truly are, not for the likes, follows, or approval we receive. Let's be courageous in our authenticity, living lives that resonate with our deepest truths. Remember, your worth is inherent and unique, and by being true to yourself, you shine your light in the most genuine way possible. Let's not just navigate life, but thrive in it, with the confidence that comes from knowing we are living authentically, aligned with our values and true to ourselves. Here's the thing: accepting change is not just necessary, it's vital for our growth and happiness. The reality is, the only constant in life is change. Learning to go with the flow and embrace life's inevitable shifts makes navigating through them less scary and more of an adventure. The Stoics, accepting change, had an incredibly healthy perspective on change. They saw it as a natural part of the universe's rhythm. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" This profound acceptance of change as part of the fabric of life helps us understand that each change, whether we perceive it as good or bad, has its place in our story. Seneca taught that becoming too attached to our current circumstances can lead to disappointment, because inevitably those circumstances will change. He advised us to be flexible and to understand that change is not just a part of life, but a necessary component of our personal development and happiness. Epictetus encouraged us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't. He pointed out that while we can't control external events, we can control our attitudes towards them. This mindset is incredibly empowering when it comes to dealing with change. It's about focusing on our responses, finding the opportunities for growth within the change, and moving forward with resilience. But how can we become more accepting of change? First, by acknowledging that change is inevitable. It's the natural order of things. Everything around us is in a constant state of flux. Seasons change, people come and go, and our very cells are renewing themselves as we speak. Embracing change means embracing life itself. Second, by practicing mindfulness. Being present in the moment allows us to appreciate our current experiences without clinging to them. This awareness creates a space for acceptance when those experiences inevitably evolve or come to an end. Third, by seeking the lessons in change. Every shift in our lives, no matter how challenging, comes with opportunities to learn and grow. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can turn the challenges of change into stepping stones for personal development. Aristotle spoke about the importance of pursuing a virtuous life as the key to happiness. Part of virtue is adaptability, the ability to navigate life's changes with grace and wisdom. It's about finding balance and harmony within the flux of life. Modern psychology supports this Stoic approach to change. Viewing change as an opportunity rather than a threat can significantly reduce our stress and anxiety levels. It can enhance our resilience, making us better equipped to handle whatever life throws our way. Let's remind ourselves that change is not just something to endure, but to welcome as a natural, enriching part of our journey. By accepting change, we open ourselves to new experiences, growth, and the beautiful unfolding of our unique paths in life. Remember, going with the flow isn't about passivity. It's about actively engaging with life in its full, dynamic complexity. Let's navigate the currents of change with courage, grace, and a heart open to the endless possibilities that change brings. Despite our differences, we're all in this together, navigating the complex journey of life. By fostering an understanding and caring attitude towards others, we contribute to making the world a kinder. Practicing compassion and empathy. More loving place. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who continue to enlighten us with their timeless wisdom, placed great importance on the virtues of compassion and empathy. They believed in the interconnectedness of all humans and taught that kindness and understanding towards others are essential aspects of living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, reminded us that human beings are social creatures by nature, meant to live in harmony and cooperation with one another. He said, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." This beautifully illustrates the idea that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of others. Seneca emphasized the importance of treating others with kindness and generosity. He argued that compassion is a natural human instinct and that by helping others, we also help ourselves. In his writings, Seneca encourages us to extend our empathy even to those who have wronged us, understanding that they too are acting out of their own struggles and limitations. Epictetus taught that we should strive to understand others' perspectives, recognizing that everyone has their reasons for their actions. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather approaching others with a mindset of empathy, seeking to understand their experiences and viewpoints. But how can we practice compassion and empathy in our daily lives? It starts with listening, truly listening to the stories, experiences, and feelings of those around us. It's about putting ourselves in their shoes, imagining their struggles, their joys, their fears, and their hopes. This act of understanding can bridge the gap between us, fostering a sense of connection and shared humanity. Another way to cultivate compassion and empathy is through acts of kindness, no matter how small: a smile, a kind word, a listening ear. These can all make a significant difference in someone's day. By being present and attentive to others, we signal that they matter, that their feelings and experiences are valid and important. Practicing compassion and empathy also means being there for others in times of need, offering support and understanding without judgment. It's about recognizing the value and dignity of every person, regardless of our differences. The ancient philosopher Aristotle spoke about the importance of friendship and the role of empathy in building strong, meaningful relationships. He believed that true friends not only share in each other's joys, but also in their sorrows, supporting each other with empathy and understanding. Modern psychology supports the Stoic emphasis on compassion and empathy, showing that these virtues not only enhance our relationships, but also our own emotional well-being. By caring for others, we foster a sense of belonging, purpose, and happiness in our own lives. Let's remind ourselves that behind every face is a story, behind every action is a reason, and that by understanding and caring for each other, we make the world a kinder, gentler place. In doing so, we not only enrich the lives of those around us, but also find deeper fulfillment and joy in our own lives. Together, let's spread kindness like confetti, creating ripples of compassion that transform the world, one act of empathy at a time. Reflecting and reviewing regularly. This is about taking a pause, a real, meaningful pause, to look back on our actions, our thoughts, and the paths we've tread. It's about growth, introspection, and aligning our lives with our deepest values. In a world that's always rushing forward, this practice is our anchor, ensuring we're not just being swept away, but are sailing in the direction that's true to us. The Stoics, with their profound insights into human nature, placed immense value on the practice of reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, which we now treasure as meditations, offered a model of this practice. He didn't just rule an empire. He took the time to examine his life, his decisions, and his moral compass. Through writing, he saw this reflection as essential to living a life of virtue and purpose. "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," he wrote, reminding us that our internal dialogue shapes our external reality. Seneca recommended regular self-assessment as a way to foster self-improvement and wisdom. He likened life to a play, suggesting that we periodically review our roles and performances. Are we acting in harmony with the character we wish to embody? Are our actions reflective of the script we value, the script of our lives? Epictetus encouraged his students to end each day with a review of their actions and attitudes. This wasn't about self-criticism, but about self-awareness and growth. He urged us to ask ourselves, what did I do well? What did I do wrong? What duties left undone? Through such questions, we can steer our lives more consciously, making adjustments that bring us closer to our ideals. But how do we incorporate this Stoic practice of reflection and review into our modern lives? First, by making it a habit. Dedicate a few minutes each day, perhaps before bedtime, to reflect on your day. What were your victories? Where did you face challenges, and how did you respond? This practice can start as a mental exercise, but writing it down can enhance its benefits, giving you a tangible record of your journey. Second, use reflection as a tool for gratitude. In reviewing your day, also take note of the moments, no matter how small, that brought you joy or gratitude. This balances our natural tendency to focus on the negative, cultivating a more positive outlook on life. Third, approach this practice with kindness. Reflection is not about berating yourself for mistakes, but about recognizing them as opportunities for learning and growth. Be as understanding and supportive to yourself as you would be to a dear friend. Aristotle spoke about the importance of living a reflective life. He believed that true wisdom comes from understanding ourselves, our actions, and our place in the world. This reflection is the essence of living an examined life, one that's in accordance with virtue and excellence. In modern psychology, the benefits of regular reflection are well documented, showing improvements in mental health, clarity of purpose, and personal growth. Reflecting on our experiences helps us process emotions, learn from our actions, and make more informed decisions moving forward. Let's commit to this practice of reflecting and reviewing regularly. Let it be our guidepost, ensuring that we're not just passively experiencing life, but actively shaping it according to our values. By taking the time to look back, we gain the insight needed to move forward more aligned, more aware, and more in tune with the essence of who we are and who we aspire to be. Let's cherish this journey of introspection, for it is in knowing ourselves that we find the path to true fulfillment and joy. Each of these lessons from Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom. They're life hacks that can help us deal with stress, make better decisions, and find peace in chaos. Remember, it's not the challenges along the way that define us, but the strength we find in facing them, the wisdom we gather, and the compassion we share. Each step, each reflection, each act of kindness is a brushstroke in the masterpiece that is your life. So let's not just exist, let's live vibrantly, purposefully, authentically. As we part ways today, I encourage you not to let the inspiration end here. On the screen, you'll find a playlist that's a treasure trove of wisdom, stories, and strategies to help you navigate life's twists and turns with grace and resilience. Click on it, dive deeper, and continue to sculpt the most authentic version of yourself. Together, let's keep growing, keep reflecting, and keep embracing the beautiful complexity of life. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until we meet again, remember to live not just for the applause, but for the cause of being your most genuine self. Have you ever been stopped by someone who just couldn't believe your age? Maybe they thought you were years, if not a decade, younger than you actually are. At first, it might seem like just a compliment. But what if I told you that looking younger than your age isn't just about good genes or skin care? It's a sign, an indicator of something much deeper, something hidden within your psychology, your mindset, and even your life choices. People who look younger often share distinct psychological traits, and today I'm about to reveal what they are. If you've ever been told you don't look your age, pay close attention because this might explain why. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe because I'll be sharing more eye-opening content like this and you don't want to miss out. 1. You have an unbreakable spirit. Have you ever noticed how some people go through the worst storms in life, yet still manage to look untouched by time? They face heartbreak, betrayals, financial struggles, and personal losses. But when you look at them, you'd never guess the battles they've fought. Their secret, an unbreakable spirit. Your mind controls your body more than you think. The weight of stress, anxiety, and emotional burdens doesn't just exist in your thoughts. It carves itself into your skin, your posture, and even the way you carry yourself. People who seem to defy aging are not just lucky. They have learned how to master their emotions instead of letting their emotions master them. They understand one of life's most brutal truths. Stress is a silent killer, and it doesn't just take away your peace, it takes away your youth. Look at those who age prematurely. More often than not, they are people who have allowed stress to consume them. They dwell on their failures, hold on to grudges, and live in a constant state of worry. This mental state forces the body into survival mode, increasing cortisol levels, the stress hormone responsible for wrinkles, dull skin, and overall exhaustion. It doesn't just make you look older, it makes you feel older too. But then there are those who refuse to let stress dictate their lives. No matter what happens, they get back up. They take the blows, but they don't let the bruises remain. They have this deep-rooted resilience, a kind of mental toughness that keeps them from drowning in negativity. And guess what? Their faces reflect that strength. Their skin remains vibrant, their eyes stay full of life, and their presence radiates energy. If you've ever been told that you look younger than your age, ask yourself, are you someone who keeps moving forward despite hardships? Do you laugh in the face of adversity instead of letting it break you? If so, you may have cracked the ultimate secret to agelessness, not just in appearance, but in spirit. And if you haven't yet mastered this, the best time to start is now. Let go of what you cannot control. Find strength in your struggles. Refuse to be defeated, because while life will try to wear you down, only you have the power to decide whether it leaves a mark on your soul or your face. 2. You embrace change instead of fearing it. Have you ever met someone who, despite their age, has this unstoppable energy, the kind that makes you question if time even affects them? They move through life with excitement, curiosity, and openness that seems almost childlike. These are the people who have discovered the ultimate key to staying young, embracing change instead of fearing it. Stubbornness is one of the fastest ways to age, mentally, emotionally, and physically. When people resist change, they trap themselves in cycles of stress, frustration, and stagnation. Their minds grow rigid, their habits repetitive, and their bodies begin to reflect the weight of their unwillingness to adapt. This resistance doesn't just affect their mood, it manifests in their posture, their expressions, and even the way they carry themselves. You've probably seen it: the frown lines, the stiffness, the energy of someone who is simply existing rather than truly living. Now think about those who seem ageless, even in their 50s, 60s, or beyond. They are the ones who don't let time define them. Instead of clinging to the past, they welcome new experiences. Instead of saying, "I'm too old for this," they say, "Why not?" They are lifelong learners, willing to grow, evolve, and try things outside of their comfort zone. This flexibility isn't just good for the soul, it's a powerful anti-aging weapon. Science backs this up. People who constantly learn new skills, explore different ideas, and remain socially and intellectually engaged maintain stronger brain function and healthier bodies. Their minds stay sharp and their spirits remain lively, which naturally reflects in their appearance. There's a certain glow to someone who embraces life with open arms. Their faces don't carry the heaviness of regret or the stiffness of resistance. Instead, they radiate a youthful energy that is undeniable. So if you ever wonder why some people look much older than they are, while others seem to defy time, look at their attitude toward change. Those who resist it age faster, both inside and out. But those who flow with life, who see every twist and turn as an adventure, remain youthful not just in looks, but in spirit. The truth is, aging isn't just about the passing of years. It's about how you respond to the changes that come with them. If you refuse to evolve, you will feel old long before your time. But if you embrace the unknown, stay curious, and never let yourself grow mentally stiff, you will carry an energy that makes people wonder, what's your secret? 3. Your mind is always curious. Have you ever met someone whose energy is so vibrant, so alive, that they seem untouched by time? They could be 40, 50, or even 60, yet they have the spark of someone half their age. What's their secret? It's not just good genetics or a fancy skincare routine. It's their curiosity. Most people assume that youth is only about how you look, but that's a lie. True youth starts in the mind. The moment you stop being curious, stop asking questions, stop learning, you start aging in ways that no anti-aging cream can fix. A dull mind leads to a dull body. People who let life become repetitive, who settle into routines without ever exploring new things, slowly lose the energy that once made them shine. You can see it in their posture, in their tired eyes, in the way they speak. They aren't living, they're simply existing. Now contrast that with someone who is endlessly curious. These are the people who never stop learning, who always want to know more about the world, about people, about themselves. They pick up new hobbies, ask deep questions, challenge their own thoughts, and see life as an adventure rather than a burden. Their minds stay sharp, and as a result, their bodies follow. Science backs this up. Mental stimulation keeps the brain active, reducing cognitive decline and even slowing down the aging process. But curiosity does more than just keep your mind fresh. It changes your entire energy. Have you ever noticed that people with youthful curiosity have a certain glow? Their eyes are brighter, their expressions are more animated, and they carry an aura of excitement. They don't see life as something that's slipping away. They see it as something to keep discovering. And that mentality alone reflects in their physical appearance. So if people often tell you that you look younger than your age, take a moment to think. Are you someone who is always curious? Do you find joy in learning new things? Do you challenge yourself to grow instead of just going through the motions? If the answer is yes, then you've unlocked one of the most powerful secrets to staying young. Because the truth is, youth isn't just about the years you've lived. It's about the fire in your mind. Keep that fire alive, and time will never truly catch up with you. 4. You express your emotions freely. Have you ever noticed how some people carry the weight of the world on their faces? Their eyes seem tired, their expressions hardened, and their presence feels heavy, as if life itself has worn them down. Now compare them to those who look younger than their age. Their faces are lighter, their eyes brighter, and there's a softness in the way they carry themselves. What's the difference? Emotional expression. Emotions are not meant to be locked away. When you suppress your feelings, whether it's sadness, anger, frustration, or even joy, you create an inner tension that your body absorbs. It builds up like poison, increasing stress levels, tightening your muscles, and manifesting as deep lines on your face. Years of unexpressed emotions don't just weigh down your mind, they physically alter your appearance. Think about someone who holds in their emotions all the time. They keep a straight face, never allowing themselves to fully laugh, cry, or speak their truth. Over time, this emotional suppression takes a toll. Stress hormones like cortisol rise, accelerating aging by damaging skin elasticity, draining energy, and even weakening the immune system. These are the people who look older than they are, not because of genetics, but because of the emotional weight they refuse to release. Now look at those who age gracefully, who look younger than their years. What do they have in common? They allow themselves to feel. When they're happy, they don't hold back their laughter. When they're sad, they don't pretend to be fine. They cry, they talk, they release. They are emotionally honest, and this honesty keeps them youthful. Their faces don't carry the tension of years of unspoken words or suppressed pain. Instead, they remain expressive, vibrant, and full of life. It's no surprise that cultures that encourage open emotional expression tend to have people who appear more youthful and energetic. Emotional release is a natural anti-aging tool, one that no expensive product can replace. Studies show that people who openly express emotions tend to have lower levels of stress and better overall health, both physically and mentally. So, if you've ever been told that you look younger than your age, it might not just be because of good skincare or genetics. It could be because you don't let emotions rot inside you. You speak, you laugh, you cry, and you release. And in doing so, you free yourself not just mentally but physically. Because the truth is, the face is a reflection of the soul, and those who let their emotions flow freely, they stay young, not just in appearance, but in spirit. 5. You surround yourself with positive energy. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt drained, as if the air itself was heavy? Or spent time with someone who, after just a few minutes, left you feeling exhausted? That's because energy is contagious, whether it's positive or negative, and if you constantly expose yourself to negativity, it doesn't just affect your mind, it slowly wears down your body, making you age faster. The truth is, the people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your youthfulness. If you're constantly around individuals who complain, criticize, or drain your energy with their pessimism, it physically takes a toll on you. Stress levels rise, your body tenses up, and over time you start carrying that negativity in your posture, your face, and even your health. You see it in people who seem far older than their actual age. Tired eyes, deep frown lines, and an overall heaviness in their presence. But then there are those who look effortlessly young, no matter their age. They have a radiance, a glow, an energy that feels alive. What's their secret? They carefully choose their environment. They spend time with people who lift them up, who inspire them, who bring laughter instead of complaints. They know that negative energy is a slow poison, and they refuse to let it infect their lives. Science backs this up. Studies show that positive social interactions reduce stress hormones and even slow down the aging process at a cellular level. Laughter, genuine connection, and uplifting conversations don't just make you feel better, they keep your body younger. Ever wonder why some people seem to glow with youth despite their years? It's because they surround themselves with people who fill them with life, not drain it from them. Look around you. Are the people in your life adding to your energy or taking from it? If you find yourself constantly surrounded by negativity, it might be affecting you in ways you don't even realize. But the good news is, you have the power to change it. Choose positivity, and your body will thank you for it. Because at the end of the day, youth isn't just about how you look. It's about the energy you carry. And that energy is shaped by the people you allow into your world. So if you've been told that you look younger than your age, it might not just be luck. It could be a sign that you've surrounded yourself with the kind of energy that keeps you truly alive. 6. You live with passion and purpose. Have you ever looked at someone and thought they looked tired of life? Their face lacks expression, their posture is heavy, and their energy feels drained, as if they're just going through the motions, waiting for time to pass. Now contrast that with someone who radiates life, someone who speaks with excitement, whose eyes light up when they talk about their dreams, whose presence feels electric. The difference? Passion, purpose, a reason to wake up every morning. People who lack passion often appear older than their years. When life feels empty, when there's nothing exciting on the horizon, it shows. The human body reacts to emotional stagnation just as much as it reacts to physical inactivity. When you're disconnected from your purpose, your mind becomes dull, your spirit dims, and your body follows. The result? A face that looks tired, aged, and uninspired. But then there are those who glow with youthful energy, no matter their age. They don't wake up dreading the day. They wake up driven, excited, ready to create, build, and experience. This passion fuels them from the inside, and it reflects outward. You can see it in their expressions, in the way they move, in the way they carry themselves, with enthusiasm and vitality. And the science backs it up. Studies show that having a sense of purpose reduces stress, lowers inflammation, and even extends lifespan. When you're actively pursuing something that excites you, whether it's a career, a hobby, or a personal mission, your brain produces more dopamine and serotonin, the very chemicals responsible for happiness and youthful energy. These chemicals keep your skin glowing, your body active, and your spirit alive. If you've been told you look younger than your age, it might not be just genetics. It could be because you have something that fuels your soul, something that gives you a reason to keep pushing forward with excitement. So ask yourself, are you just existing, or are you truly living? Because if you're lost in routine, uninspired and stagnant, it's not just your mind that suffers. Your body will show it too. But if you have passion, if you have a goal that ignites your spirit, you will carry an energy that defies age itself. Because in the end, youth isn't about how many years you've lived. It's about how alive you feel inside. And those who live with passion, they never truly grow old. 7. You let go of the past. Have you ever seen someone who carries the weight of their past on their face? Their eyes seem distant, their expression tired, as if they are trapped in memories they can't escape. The truth is, holding on to regret, resentment, or guilt doesn't just affect your mind, it physically changes you. It burdens your body, increases stress, and over time, it makes you age faster than you should. The past is heavy. Every unresolved conflict, every painful memory, every mistake you replay over and over again. It all takes a toll on your health, both mentally and physically. Stress hormones like cortisol rise when you dwell on things you can't change, and over time, they lead to premature aging, wrinkles, and even illness. People who hold on to bitterness often develop a hardened, worn-out look, as if life itself has drained them. And in a way, it has. But then there are those who seem light, vibrant, and effortlessly young, no matter their age. What's their secret? They don't let the past define them. They've made peace with what's behind them. They understand that carrying old pain only hurts them, not the people who caused it. Instead of clinging to regret, they focus on the present. Instead of living in past mistakes, they choose growth, healing, and freedom. Science supports this. Studies have shown that people who practice forgiveness and mindfulness have lower levels of stress, better immune function, and even a longer lifespan. When you let go of grudges and regrets, your body follows suit. It releases tension, repairs itself, and allows you to maintain a youthful, radiant presence. If you've been told that you look younger than your age, it might not be just genetics. It could be because you refuse to let the past weigh you down. You've chosen to live in the moment, to move forward instead of looking back. And that mindset, it keeps you young inside and out. So ask yourself, what are you still holding on to? Is it anger, guilt, resentment? Whatever it is, it's not just hurting your soul, it's aging you. But the moment you decide to let go, to stop carrying what no longer serves you, you'll feel something incredible. Lighter, freer, younger. Because in the end, the past is a burden, and those who release it, they carry a glow that time can't touch. So if you've ever wondered why you look younger than your age, now you know. It's not just about genetics, but about your mindset, your lifestyle, and your energy. And if you don't look younger yet, maybe it's time to adopt these powerful psychological habits. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that reveals the hidden truths about life and psychology. Share this with someone who always gets mistaken for being younger. They might find it just as fascinating as you did. And now, tell me in the comments, what's the craziest age mistake someone has made about you? I'd love to hear your stories. Stay youthful, stay powerful. Imagine this. Right now, you have the power to turn your greatest challenges into your most meaningful successes. But how, you may wonder? Today, we're diving into Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has helped people overcome adversity and find peace in the midst of chaos for centuries. Think back to a time when you faced a situation that tested your patience or shook your confidence. How did you react? Were you controlled by your immediate emotions, or did you choose a response aligned with your core values and beliefs? This is where Stoicism comes in, guiding us to approach life's challenges with courage, wisdom, and composure. Today, we'll explore a powerful idea with ancient roots that is just as relevant today: the practice of training your mind to respond, not react. This isn't just about staying calm in difficult situations. It's about developing a deep awareness and being fully present in the moment. This helps you move through life's ups and downs with intention and grace. The Stoics, ancient thinkers known for their practical outlook on life, had much to say on this topic. They believed that while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we interpret and respond to those events. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what's within our power, teaching us to detach from external circumstances and ground ourselves in reason and choice. This wisdom can inspire us to pause, reflect, and choose our actions thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Why is this important? Consider how much of our stress, regret, and frustration stem from quick reactions to what others say or do. Imagine being able to stay calm, centered, and thoughtful, even when the world around you is anything but. This isn't just about finding inner peace. It's about becoming a more effective, compassionate, and resilient person. These qualities have the power to transform not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. In today's conversation, we'll explore various strategies that combine insights from modern psychology and Stoic philosophy. These strategies will help you develop a responsive mindset. We'll discuss how to cultivate mindfulness, why responding instead of reacting matters in today's world, how to express emotions constructively, and how to keep the bigger picture in mind, a perspective in which the Stoics excelled. By the end of our discussion, you'll have a toolkit of strategies to help you pause, assess, and respond thoughtfully to whatever life throws your way. Together, we'll learn to anchor ourselves in the wisdom of Stoicism and the power of our own minds to choose how we respond, transforming our experiences and interactions for the better. As we explore the essence of responding over reacting, we enter a space where every thought and action is intentional, echoing the timeless teachings of Stoicism. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers from Greece and Rome, held principles that are incredibly relevant to our fast-paced modern world. They emphasized the importance of mastering our emotions and reactions, teaching that true power lies in our ability to choose how we respond to any situation. So, why is it so important to cultivate the ability to respond rather than react impulsively? Imagine you're in a tense meeting or facing a personal challenge. The natural instinct is often to react immediately, driven by a surge of emotions. While this reaction is instinctive, it's rarely in our best interest. Over time, reactive behavior can escalate conflicts, damage relationships, and lead to decisions we regret. This is where Stoic wisdom proves invaluable. The Stoics advocated for living in harmony with nature and reason, emphasizing that every action should be guided by virtue and rational thought. By adopting this philosophy, we learn to observe our initial impulses, analyze them with reason, and choose actions that align with our core values and long-term goals. Responding instead of reacting means taking a moment to pause when faced with a triggering situation. It's about stepping back to reflect, not only on the external event, but also on your internal response. This pause gives you the opportunity to consider different outcomes and choose the one that is reasoned, balanced, and most importantly, under your control. In practicing this Stoic approach, you're not ignoring or suppressing your emotions. Rather, you acknowledge them, understand their roots, and then decide whether and how they should influence your actions. This process empowers you to engage with the world in a way that preserves your inner peace and integrity, no matter what happens externally. However, the benefits of responding over reacting extend beyond personal peace. It also improves the quality of your relationships, strengthens your leadership, and enhances your resilience in the face of adversity. When you respond thoughtfully, you show respect, understanding, and empathy for others' perspectives, fostering more meaningful and productive interactions. Embarking on the journey to train your mind requires more than just good intentions. It demands intentional and sustained effort, much like the practices advocated by the Stoics. Their timeless wisdom offers valuable guidance for cultivating a responsive rather than reactive mindset in our modern world. Let's first explore the importance of self-awareness, a key pillar of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics stressed the need for introspection and understanding one's own thoughts and motivations. In this context, self-awareness means developing a keen understanding of your mental and emotional states. When you're aware of your thoughts and feelings, you're better equipped to manage them effectively. This heightened awareness helps you recognize the onset of emotional reactions and take the crucial first step toward choosing a more reasoned response. Next, we'll explore the practice of pausing, a simple yet powerful strategy. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, often spoke of the space between stimulus and response, the moment when we have the power to choose our actions. By cultivating the habit of pausing, we gain the ability to make more intentional, thoughtful decisions in the face of life's challenges. This brief pause can be filled with a deep breath, a moment of reflection, or a short meditation. In this space, we can connect with our inner Stoic, asking ourselves what virtue is needed in the moment and which response aligns with our highest self. Another key strategy is reframing our perspective, a technique the Stoics used to maintain equanimity during difficult times. Reframing involves consciously choosing to view a situation from a new angle, one that reduces its emotional impact and reveals alternative ways to approach it. For example, rather than seeing a challenging work situation as a threat, you might reframe it as an opportunity for growth and resilience. By shifting our narrative, we change our emotional responses and open up new possibilities for action. The Stoics also emphasized focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. By practicing this principle, we learn to direct our energy where it matters most, responding to our thoughts and actions while accepting external events as they happen. This doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. Rather, it's about recognizing where our true power lies and acting with intention and integrity. Finally, consistent self-reflection and adjustment are essential for training the mind. The Stoics practiced daily self-examination, evaluating their actions and progress toward virtue. Similarly, we can end our day by reflecting on our responses, celebrating the moments we chose thoughtful actions, and learning from times when we fell into reactivity. This continuous process of self-assessment and improvement helps us build a responsive mindset and cultivate the wisdom and balance central to Stoicism. By incorporating these strategies into our daily lives, we honor the Stoic legacy while empowering ourselves to live with more purpose, calm, and effectiveness. Through consistent practice, we can reshape our minds, guiding them to respond in ways that reflect our deepest values and aspirations. At its core, mindfulness is about cultivating a deep awareness of the present moment. It involves observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, which allows us to gain insight into their nature and influence. By practicing mindfulness, we align with the Stoic goal of living with awareness and intention, grounding ourselves firmly in the now. Mindfulness practices for a Stoic life. The only moment we truly have the power to act is the present. One effective way to cultivate mindfulness is through focused attention exercises like breath meditation. By simply observing our breath, each inhale and exhale, we strengthen our ability to concentrate and bring our attention back to the present whenever it wanders. This practice isn't just about relaxation, it's training for the mind, improving our ability to stay focused and present amidst life's distractions. Another key mindfulness practice is mindful observation, which can be applied to any activity. Whether you're eating, walking, or performing routine tasks, you can practice being fully engaged in the moment, observing each aspect with curiosity and openness. This enhances the experience itself and also strengthens your ability to stay focused and responsive in various situations. Body scan meditation is another powerful technique that fosters both body awareness and presence. By slowly scanning through different parts of the body, we develop a deeper connection with our physical selves while also recognizing and releasing built-up tensions and emotions. This practice mirrors Stoic reflection on the body's nature and emphasizes not letting physical sensations overly influence our rational minds. Incorporating mindfulness into our interactions with others can also transform our relationships and communication. By being fully present, listening attentively, and observing without judgment, we foster deeper understanding and connection. This practice aligns with the Stoic value of empathy and the recognition that others too are rational beings navigating their own challenges and experiences. Implementing response over reaction in daily life. By embracing these mindfulness practices, we follow a path laid out by the Stoics, one that leads to greater clarity, tranquility, and effectiveness in our actions. As we cultivate a mindful presence, we equip ourselves with the tools to respond to life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and composure, embodying the best of Stoic-inspired living. Let's now shift our focus to the practical application of the mindfulness and Stoic insights we've gained, aiming to create a lifestyle where thoughtful responses take precedence over impulsive reactions. The goal of practicing response over reaction is not about suppressing our natural instincts. Instead, it's about deepening our engagement with life in line with the Stoic virtue of living with intention and rational thought. To truly embody the principles we've discussed, it's essential to establish daily practices that help us respond thoughtfully. Picture yourself in a challenging situation, perhaps a disagreement at work or an unexpected setback. Your immediate impulse might be to react emotionally, driven by frustration or disappointment. However, this is precisely the moment to tap into your Stoic-inspired training. Pause and reflect on the bigger picture. Ask yourself, what would a Stoic philosopher do? This question isn't about suppressing your emotions. Instead, it invites you to engage your rational mind to evaluate the situation objectively and choose a constructive response. The goal is not to eliminate emotions, but to channel them productively, using reason to navigate through them. Acknowledge your feelings, understand what triggered them, and then, with clarity and calm, decide on the best course of action that aligns with your values and goals. In practical terms, this could mean taking a brief walk to clear your mind before replying to a provocative email. Or it could involve digging deeper into what's truly bothering you in a conflict, addressing the root causes rather than reacting to surface-level frustrations. Each time you choose to respond instead of react, you're reinforcing a pattern of thoughtful engagement with life's challenges, building resilience, and fostering a greater sense of peace and satisfaction. Integrating this approach into your daily routine amplifies its impact. Start your day by reflecting on your intentions, reminding yourself of your commitment to respond thoughtfully in various situations. Make journaling a regular habit, using it to reflect on your responses, celebrate successes, and identify areas for improvement. Above all, embrace a mindset of continuous learning and growth, recognizing that each day offers a new opportunity to practice and refine your ability to respond rather than react. By committing to this path, you're not simply adopting a strategy for stress reduction or conflict management. You're embracing a way of life that reflects the Stoic pursuit of virtue and wisdom. You're choosing to live intentionally, aligning your actions with your highest ideals. In doing so, you contribute to a more thoughtful, compassionate, and responsive world. The journey from reaction to response is transformative, leading us toward a deeper engagement with both our inner selves and the external world. This is the path that the Stoics walked with dedication, and now, with their wisdom guiding us, we too can navigate life's challenges with grace, equanimity, and rationality, embodying the true spirit of Stoicism in our modern world. The core of our exploration is not just about managing our reactions in isolation, but about integrating a thoughtful, responsive approach into the fabric of our lives. By embracing Stoic principles, focusing on what we can control, acting with reason, and striving for virtue, we empower ourselves to face life's challenges with greater calm and purpose. This Stoic-inspired path invites us to view every moment as an opportunity to practice our commitment to responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Whether we face daily frustrations, major setbacks, or significant decisions, each situation is a chance to embody Stoic virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By consistently choosing to respond thoughtfully, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also positively impact those around us. Remember, the journey to mastering response over reaction is ongoing, requiring continual learning and growth. Like the Stoics, we must embrace the discipline of self-reflection, regularly assessing our progress and adjusting as needed. This commitment to personal growth not only brings us closer to our ideal selves, but also resonates outward, influencing our relationships, communities, and the broader tapestry of interconnected lives. As we near the end of this journey together, remember, every moment is a choice. Each moment is an opportunity to embody the calm, resilience, and wisdom of Stoicism in the fabric of our lives. Your responses are threads that weave your character with intention and purpose. Now, as we part ways, I encourage you to continue your exploration. Look for suggested videos that dive deeper into the art of living wisely and well. Thank you for joining us at Stoic Journal and embracing the path of mindful response over reactive impulse. May your journey forward be filled with clarity, virtue, and peace. Imagine facing immense challenges and adversities only to emerge stronger and wiser on the other side. What if you could tap into an ancient source of wisdom to guide you through life's trials today? Let's explore the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, a great Roman emperor and philosopher, and discover how his timeless wisdom can help us build resilience and inner strength when faced with adversity. Marcus Aurelius, despite being one of the most powerful men of his time, encountered countless struggles, from political upheavals to personal losses. Amid these challenges, he wrote his deeply introspective and insightful book, Meditations, as a way of self-improvement and reflection. His personal thoughts have inspired countless people over the centuries, providing guidance on how to live a virtuous and fulfilling life. In today's fast-paced and uncertain world, resilience and inner strength are more essential than ever. We are constantly faced with changes in our careers, relationships, and personal lives. What if we could learn to navigate these changes with grace and wisdom, turning adversity into an opportunity for growth and self-discovery? This is where Marcus Aurelius's Meditations can help. As a philosopher and historical figure, he emphasized the importance of cultivating inner virtues and practicing self-control. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we can overcome external circumstances and maintain balance and serenity. In essence, Stoicism teaches us to be the architects of our own happiness and well-being, no matter the challenges we face. In this video, we'll dive into 10 timeless life lessons from Marcus Aurelius that will help us build resilience and inner strength. These lessons offer practical advice for dealing with difficult situations and will inspire us to develop a more resilient mindset in daily life. By applying his wisdom, we can become better equipped to deal with adversity, grow from our experiences, and ultimately live a more fulfilling life. As we journey through these lessons, we'll explore the importance of controlling our thoughts and perceptions, accepting what we cannot change, focusing on the present moment, cultivating humility and empathy, and much more. Whether you're facing personal or professional setbacks or seeking guidance on living a more balanced life, Marcus Aurelius's teachings can serve as a powerful source of wisdom and inspiration. Lesson 1. Control your perception. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Our perception of the world shapes our reality, influencing how we react to situations, interact with others, and ultimately feel about ourselves. By recognizing that our reactions are based on our perspectives, we can let go of the urge to control what's beyond our reach. A useful technique for cultivating this mindset is detachment. Detachment involves recognizing the impermanent nature of life, understanding that everything is subject to change. By embracing this, we can develop a more balanced perspective and learn to flow with life's natural changes. When faced with a challenge, remind yourself that this too shall pass, and approach the situation with an open heart and mind. Meditation can also help promote acceptance. Setting aside time each day to calm your mind and observe your thoughts and emotions helps you develop a better understanding of your reactions. This increased self-awareness allows you to more easily recognize when you're struggling to accept what can't be changed and adopt a more receptive mindset. Learning to accept the things we cannot change is essential for building resilience and inner strength. By practicing awareness, detachment, and meditation, we can cultivate a more balanced approach to life's challenges. This mindset not only helps us face adversity with grace, but also allows us to appreciate life's beauty and richness. Marcus Aurelius beautifully captures this philosophy. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. His emphasis on living in the present moment reminds us not to be consumed by past regrets or future anxieties. By focusing on the here and now, we can experience life more fully and find peace and contentment. Living in the present moment offers numerous benefits: reduced stress and anxiety, increased self-awareness, and improved mental well-being. When we practice mindfulness, we engage fully with our experiences and emotions without being distracted by worries. This heightened awareness allows us to better understand ourselves and our environment, promoting personal growth and self-discovery. One way to cultivate mindfulness is through meditation. To practice, find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. When thoughts and emotions arise, acknowledge them without judgment and gently return your focus to your breath. Doing this for just 5 minutes a day can significantly improve your well-being. Another effective way to stay present is by incorporating mindful activities into your daily routine. For example, try mindful eating, where you fully savor each bite and pay attention to the flavors and textures of your food, or mindful walking, where you focus on the sensations in your body and the environment around you. By making mindfulness a part of everyday life, you can become more attuned to the present moment and develop a deeper awareness of your thoughts and emotions. Consider setting aside time each day for reflection. Writing in a journal is a great way to process your experiences and emotions, helping you stay present and recognize patterns in your thoughts and behaviors. This practice can provide valuable insights, helping you make more conscious choices moving forward. Lesson 4. Cultivate humility and empathy. Before you criticize someone, ask yourself, which of my own faults most resemble what I'm about to criticize? Humility and empathy are essential for building resilience and inner strength. These virtues help us develop stronger relationships, foster a compassionate mindset, and remind us to reflect on our own imperfections before judging others. By practicing humility, we acknowledge that we are not perfect and that we can learn from others, regardless of their status or background. This attitude makes us more receptive to feedback and personal growth, helping us overcome challenges and adapt more effectively. To practice humility in daily life, focus on listening more and speaking less. Pay attention to others' ideas and opinions and remain open to the possibility that you may be wrong or have something to learn. Be willing to admit mistakes and take responsibility for your actions. This openness can foster personal growth and a more resilient mindset. Empathy involves understanding and connecting with others by putting yourself in their shoes. It enables you to navigate difficult situations and strengthens your relationships, making you more resilient in the face of adversity. To develop empathy, practice active listening. Give others your full attention, strive to understand without judgment, and ask open-ended questions to encourage deeper conversations. Volunteering and engaging in acts of service can also help you build empathy by offering insights into the struggles and emotions of others. Humility and empathy are key to building resilience and inner strength. By practicing active listening, self-reflection, and compassion, we can develop a more empathetic and humble perspective on life. Lesson 5. Practice gratitude. When you wake up in the morning, remember how precious the gift of life is: breathing, thinking, enjoying, and loving. Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the power and importance of gratitude. By focusing on our blessings and appreciating the beauty of life, we can cultivate a more positive mindset and build resilience in the face of challenges. Studies show that expressing gratitude regularly leads to increased happiness, better mental health, stronger relationships, and even improved physical health. Grateful people tend to experience lower stress and anxiety levels and are better equipped to handle difficult situations. To integrate gratitude into your daily life, start a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how big or small. This simple practice helps shift your focus from negative thoughts to positive ones, allowing you to recognize the good things that often go unnoticed. Another way to practice gratitude is by expressing appreciation to others. Take time to thank your friends, family, and colleagues for their support and kindness. Acknowledging the value of their contributions not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your sense of gratitude. Also, make a habit of reflecting on your personal growth. Recognize the achievements and challenges you've overcome, and appreciate the lessons learned along the way. By focusing on the journey you've traveled, you can cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude for the experiences that have shaped you. Paying attention to the present moment also plays a crucial role in developing gratitude. Notice small joys and pleasures, like the warmth of the sun or the laughter of a loved one, and savor these moments. Practicing gratitude in this way helps you appreciate life's simple gifts, enhancing your overall well-being and building resilience. Lesson 6. Embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In this powerful lesson, Marcus Aurelius teaches us to see adversity not as an insurmountable obstacle, but as an opportunity for personal growth and self-development. By shifting our perspective on challenges and setbacks, we can cultivate greater resilience and inner strength, allowing us to embrace the growth that adversity offers. Challenges provide avenues for personal growth in various ways, such as helping us build new skills, gain valuable experience, and learn more about ourselves and our abilities. Overcoming adversity can also boost our self-confidence as we recognize our capability to face difficult situations and emerge stronger. To reframe adversity as a growth opportunity, start by adopting a growth mindset. The belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. When confronted with a challenge, ask yourself what skills or knowledge you can gain from the experience and how it can help you become a better, more capable person. Another helpful technique is to practice reframing negative thoughts. When facing a difficult situation, try to identify the negative thoughts that arise and consciously transform them into positive, empowering statements. For example, if you think, "I'll never be able to handle this," reframe it as, "This is a challenging situation, but I can learn and grow from it." You can also draw inspiration from the lives of others who have overcome adversity. Research famous figures, read biographies, or listen to podcasts about individuals who faced significant challenges and turned them into stepping stones for success. These examples serve as powerful reminders of the growth potential present in every obstacle. Lastly, consider seeking support from friends, family, or professionals when facing adversity. Surrounding yourself with a support network can offer valuable encouragement, advice, and fresh perspectives, helping you see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable barriers. Embracing adversity as a growth opportunity is key to building resilience and inner strength. By adopting a growth mindset, reframing negative thoughts, seeking inspiration, and relying on support from others, we can view challenges as chances to learn, grow, and become better versions of ourselves. Lesson 7. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the vital role that rational thinking plays in our happiness and our ability to overcome adversity. By guiding our thoughts and actions with reason, we can make more informed decisions, manage our emotions better, and face challenges with greater clarity and resilience. Rational thinking helps us assess situations objectively, identify potential solutions, and weigh the pros and cons of each option. By approaching challenges logically, we can minimize the influence of impulsive emotions such as fear or anger, which often cloud our judgment and lead to poor decisions. To develop rational thinking, practice critical thinking skills. This involves questioning assumptions, evaluating evidence, and considering alternative viewpoints. When faced with a difficult situation, step back and ask yourself what assumptions you might be making, whether there's enough evidence to support your beliefs, and if there are alternative solutions you may have overlooked. Another way to cultivate rational thinking is through regular self-reflection. By periodically examining our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, we can gain a deeper understanding of our motivations, biases, and thinking patterns. This self-awareness helps us recognize when our thoughts might be influenced by emotions or false assumptions, allowing us to shift toward a more logical approach. It's also essential to practice emotional regulation, as strong emotions can interfere with rational thinking. Techniques such as mindfulness meditation and deep breathing exercises can help manage emotions more effectively, creating the mental space needed for clear and logical thinking. Lastly, seek opportunities to enhance your problem-solving skills. Engage in activities that challenge your mind, like solving puzzles, playing strategy games, or participating in debates. These experiences can strengthen your logical thinking abilities and improve your capacity to face adversity with reason and clarity. Guided by reason, we can approach life's challenges with greater clarity and success. By practicing critical thinking, engaging in self-reflection, managing emotions, and honing problem-solving skills, we can develop a rational mindset that supports our resilience and growth. Lesson 8. Cultivating inner peace. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the quality of our thoughts greatly affects our emotional state and inner peace. Cultivating inner peace is essential for building resilience and maintaining emotional balance, as it helps us face challenges more effectively while preserving a sense of calm. Inner peace is important for several reasons. First, it enables us to manage stress and anxiety more effectively. When we are at peace with ourselves, we can handle life's pressures and uncertainties with greater ease. This emotional equilibrium helps prevent burnout, reduces the risk of mental health issues, and promotes overall well-being. Second, inner peace allows us to think more clearly and make better decisions. When our minds are not clouded by emotional turmoil, we can approach challenges with greater clarity and focus. This enables us to develop more effective solutions and strategies. One way to cultivate inner peace is by engaging in activities that bring joy and relaxation, such as spending time in nature, dedicating yourself to hobbies, or connecting with loved ones. Prioritizing self-care and participating in soul-nourishing activities can help replenish your emotional reserves, promoting a sense of balance and tranquility. It's also crucial to develop healthy ways to deal with stress and negative emotions. This might include practicing deep breathing exercises or engaging in physical activities like yoga or hiking. These techniques can help redirect your attention and restore emotional equilibrium. Additionally, adopting a regular gratitude practice can promote inner peace. By focusing on the positive aspects of your life and expressing gratitude for your blessings, you can cultivate a more optimistic perspective. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Consider yourself strong, as many people give up along the way. Leave a comment saying, "I am a new person," to show your strength and determination. Now that you've made it this far, you're definitely going to stay until the end. Lesson 9. Embrace what is spiritually superior, regardless of what others think or do. In this lesson, Marcus Aurelius urges us to detach from external events and circumstances, focusing instead on our internal values and spiritual growth. By not seeking validation or satisfaction from external sources, we can develop greater resilience and inner strength. The benefits of detachment are numerous. It helps maintain emotional stability in the face of adversity, prevents excessive attachment to outcomes, possessions, or others' opinions, and reduces stress, anxiety, and disappointment. To cultivate detachment in everyday life, start by becoming more aware of your thoughts and reactions to external events. Observe your emotions and thoughts without clinging to them. This increased self-awareness helps you recognize when you're overly invested in external circumstances and allows you to consciously redirect your focus inward. Another way to practice detachment is by regularly reminding yourself of life's impermanence. Acknowledge that possessions, relationships, and circumstances change, and that seeking lasting happiness from these external sources is ultimately futile. Instead, focus on finding contentment and inner fulfillment through personal growth, values, and spirituality. Developing a strong sense of identity and knowing your core values also helps cultivate detachment. When you have a clear understanding of what truly matters to you, it becomes easier to let go of external factors that don't align with your values. Take time to reflect on your core beliefs and let them guide your decisions and actions. Engage in regular spiritual or reflective practices such as meditation, journaling, or prayer. These practices deepen your connection with your inner self, foster detachment from external influences, and encourage a greater focus on personal growth and spiritual development. Practicing detachment from external events and circumstances is a powerful tool for building resilience and inner strength. By cultivating mindfulness, embracing impermanence, understanding your values, and engaging in spiritual practices, you can face life's challenges with greater grace and equanimity. Lesson 10. Appreciate what you have rather than long for what you don't. In this final lesson, Marcus Aurelius highlights the importance of perseverance and maintaining momentum in the face of adversity. By focusing on the blessings we already possess and nurturing a growth mindset, we can continue to evolve even through challenges. Perseverance is key to overcoming adversity, as it allows us to push through obstacles, learn from setbacks, and keep moving forward toward our goals, building resilience and inner strength along the way. To stay motivated and maintain a growth mindset, begin by setting clear, achievable goals that align with your values and passions. Having a clear vision of what you want to achieve will help you stay focused and motivated, even in the face of obstacles. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate your progress as you go. Another way to maintain motivation is by practicing self-compassion. Recognize that setbacks and challenges are natural parts of life, and treat yourself with kindness when facing difficulties. By cultivating self-compassion, you can maintain a positive attitude and keep moving forward, even when things are tough. Surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals can also help keep you motivated. Seek out friends, mentors, or support groups who share your values and goals, and draw inspiration from their successes and experiences. Set aside regular time to reflect on your progress, recognizing the obstacles you've overcome, the skills you've gained, and the growth you've achieved along the way. Maintaining perseverance and momentum is essential for overcoming adversity and building resilience. By practicing self-compassion, surrounding yourself with supportive individuals, and reflecting on your progress, you can sustain your motivation and keep moving forward, no matter what challenges life presents. We've just explored 10 powerful life lessons from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations that can help us build resilience and inner strength. These lessons offer insights on how to manage our perceptions, accept what we cannot change, focus on the present, develop humility and empathy, practice gratitude, embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, be guided by reason, cultivate inner peace, practice detachment, and maintain constant momentum. By integrating these timeless teachings into our daily lives, we can foster personal growth, overcome adversity, and live more meaningful and purpose-driven lives. It's important to remember that building resilience and inner strength is a lifelong journey. Applying these lessons takes time, practice, and dedication. As you continue to face challenges, turn to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and strive to live according to the principles he expressed. Doing so will not only make you more resilient and resourceful in difficult times, but also help you discover a deeper sense of inner peace, purpose, and fulfillment. As we conclude, I encourage you to reflect on these 10 lessons and think about how you can apply them to your own journey of personal growth and self-discovery. Remember, Marcus Aurelius's wisdom is a timeless guide that can help you navigate life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and resilience. If you've made it this far, be sure to comment the phrase, "I am a new person," so I know this video has made a positive impact on your life. Have you ever experienced a moment of such intense anger that you felt completely out of control? Perhaps when someone said something hurtful or acted in a way that deeply upset you. Have there been days when even a simple glance or a passing remark made it feel as though the entire world was against you? In today's rapidly moving and pressure-filled world, it's incredibly easy to become overwhelmed by negative emotions, from minor irritations to full-blown rage. But is there truly a way to remain steady in the midst of emotional chaos? Is it possible to live a life of calm and composure, untouched by the actions or words of others? Can we really protect our inner peace from external disturbances? Stoicism, an ancient yet deeply relevant school of philosophy, offers profound and enduring wisdom for this very challenge. Thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca endured unimaginable hardships, yet they managed to preserve a state of inner calm by embracing the principles of Stoic thought. Today, we'll delve into 7 practical approaches designed not just to help you manage your emotions, but to truly master them, to gain unwavering control over your inner world. What I'm about to share goes far beyond theoretical musings. These are timeless lessons drawn from the depths of Stoic philosophy, carefully transformed into practical insights that you can apply immediately. So I encourage you to stay with me throughout this journey, because even embracing just one of these approaches can lead to a powerful and immediate shift in your life. Let's begin by talking about the idea of embracing willingness in life. One of the foundational principles of Stoicism that leads to deep inner tranquility is the practice of fully accepting whatever life brings our way. Now, this doesn't mean we have to enjoy every situation or agree with everything that happens. Instead, it calls us to meet each circumstance with openness and a lack of resistance. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, encourages us to accept the things to which fate binds us and to love the people fate connects us with, but to do so wholeheartedly and sincerely. This type of acceptance is essential for breaking the cycle of anger and frustration. Picture yourself performing a mundane task like washing the dishes. If you do it begrudgingly, each plate becomes a source of resentment. But if you engage in the task with a willing spirit and a sense of gratitude, even this simple act becomes peaceful. Epictetus, in his discourses, teaches us not to wish for events to happen as we want them to, but to want them to happen as they do. Because in doing so, life begins to flow more harmoniously. This is the essence of willingness, moving with the current of life rather than resisting it. Practically speaking, this mindset can shift how we respond to uncomfortable moments. Imagine being stuck in traffic. If you allow yourself to dwell in irritation over the delay, your frustration only grows. But if you view the situation as an opportunity to listen to an audiobook, a favorite podcast, or to simply reflect, you instantly take back control over your experience. When we begin to accept life as it is, stress loses its grip on us. A critical part of developing willingness is clarifying our purpose. Instead of chasing fleeting desires or short-term goals, we can focus on a higher vision, a guiding purpose that informs all our actions. Ask yourself, what is the life I am striving to build? What vision am I aligning with? Unlike personal ambitions that might bring momentary satisfaction, a true vision encompasses the entirety of your being. When you live with a grand, meaningful purpose, each action becomes voluntary. You understand that even the hard or unpleasant moments are contributing to something greater. You're no longer just reacting, you're choosing. Think about the difference between doing something out of obligation versus doing something from the heart. If you're meeting a deadline at work under pressure, the task can feel heavy. But when you volunteer to help someone or support a cause you believe in, even the most difficult tasks feel fulfilling. The action may be the same, but the intention transforms your experience. I choose to do this becomes your sanctuary. I have to do this becomes your torment. Try applying this perspective to your daily life. When someone says something offensive, you face a fork in the road. You can let that comment dictate your emotions and lash out in anger, or you can see it as a moment to practice acceptance and inner strength. Remind yourself, this person is acting according to their own character, but I choose not to let it disturb my own. Accepting life's circumstances as they unfold does not mean giving up on self-improvement or letting go of the drive to better your circumstances. Rather, it means recognizing that while some things are beyond your control, your response is always within your power. This understanding is incredibly freeing. It reduces stress and empowers you to focus your energy where it matters most. For instance, if you're criticized at work, you can take it as a personal attack, or you can see it as an opportunity for growth. Your peace of mind isn't determined by what happens to you, but by how you interpret and respond to it. Embracing willingness is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Start small. Accept when you make a mistake. Welcome life's little challenges as opportunities to strengthen your character. Learn to greet inconveniences with calm and patience. As you gradually develop this mindset, you'll find that anger has less power over you. External circumstances won't shake you as easily. Instead, you'll discover a growing, quiet power within yourself, the kind of power that allows you to live life by your own design. Now let's talk about the second principle, the importance of stopping the habit of judging others. Have you ever paused to reflect on why it's so easy to feel annoyed, frustrated, or angry with the people around you? It often comes down to a simple truth. We are constantly judging others. Think about how many times a day you tell yourself that someone is rude, selfish, slow, or untrustworthy. These judgments don't just affect how we view others, they create emotional turmoil within us. From a Stoic perspective, letting go of judgment is one of the most effective ways to free ourselves from unnecessary emotional suffering. Humans naturally interpret the world through their own subjective lens. When someone acts in a way that doesn't align with our expectations, our instinct is to label them, to assign blame, fault, or flaw. Let's say someone is driving slowly in front of you. The first thought might be that they're being thoughtless or stupid. But what if they're a new driver? Or what if they're driving carefully because they have children in the car? The reality is that external events do not dictate our emotions. It's our interpretation that does. Judging others adds an unnecessary emotional burden. These judgments aren't just passing thoughts, they are seeds that grow into frustration, anger, and resentment. Take, for example, a coworker who often arrives late. If your judgment is that they're lazy or inconsiderate, your irritation will build with each passing day. But if you take a moment to consider that they might be caring for someone who's unwell or facing struggles you don't know about, your attitude softens. This shift in perspective doesn't mean you're excusing poor behavior. It means you're choosing not to let it rob you of your peace. You begin to see that judging others does more harm to you than to the person being judged. By releasing the need to label others, you unburden your mind and heart. When we stop judging, we open the door to greater compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves as well. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control other people's actions, but we can always choose how we respond. When we judge less and understand more, we create space for patience, empathy, and emotional resilience. This doesn't mean abandoning discernment or allowing others to walk over you. It means stepping back from the reflex to immediately categorize someone as good or bad based on a single action. People are complex, just like you. Everyone has struggles, insecurities, and reasons behind their behavior. Ultimately, letting go of judgment is about choosing peace over irritation. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional chains that come with trying to control or define others. When you stop judging, you stop absorbing unnecessary negativity. And in that space of neutrality, you find clarity, calm, and strength. Stay with me as we continue exploring more powerful Stoic practices that can transform not only your emotional world, but your entire life. These teachings aren't just about philosophy. They're about creating a life of stability, depth, and enduring inner peace. Stoicism doesn't instruct us to ignore our problems. It teaches us to see them with greater clarity and understanding. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed that we always possess the option of withholding our opinion. There is never a true necessity to become agitated or to disturb your inner peace over matters beyond your control. No one is entirely virtuous or completely flawed. People are a blend of actions, influenced heavily by their life experiences, surroundings, and level of awareness. Think back to a time when you didn't show up as your best self. Maybe you were exhausted, overwhelmed, or just having a particularly rough day. In the same way, others' actions are rarely a reflection of who they are at their core, but more often a response to the situations they're facing. In the right environment, even someone with many faults can demonstrate surprising kindness. On the flip side, even those who are usually composed and kind can falter under pressure. Consider this. You're at a restaurant and the server accidentally spills water across your table. Your immediate reaction might be irritation or anger. How careless! But if you take a moment to pause and reflect, considering the possibility that they might be having an exceptionally difficult day, your emotional response changes. You feel lighter. This is the quiet but profound power of releasing judgment. Not only does it lift the burden of discomfort from your shoulders, but it also deepens your empathy toward others. To be clear, letting go of judgment doesn't equate to justifying wrongdoing. It means choosing not to let the actions of others take control of your inner world. You can still recognize poor behavior and distinguish right from wrong without allowing negativity to poison your mind. As Marcus Aurelius also noted, the best form of revenge is to remain unlike the one who committed the harm. The most dignified and powerful response to being wronged isn't retaliation. It's maintaining your grace and self-control. So how do we put this principle of non-judgment into action? The first and most essential step is awareness. When you notice yourself beginning to form a judgment about someone, ask yourself honestly, is this thought necessary? Is it helping me in any meaningful way? Then try to shift your point of view. Put yourself in the other person's situation. What might they be going through that you don't see or understand? Remember too that the richness of life comes from diversity. The fact that someone behaves, thinks or reacts differently than you doesn't automatically make them wrong. It simply makes them different. And not every difference needs to be analyzed or emotionally charged. Often, it's not worth your energy or your peace. Letting go of judgment is ultimately about freeing yourself from carrying unnecessary emotional burdens. It's about learning to release the weight of irritation and resentment. The next time someone gets under your skin, pause, breathe deeply, and ask yourself honestly, is this emotional reaction really worth it? You'll begin to notice that by choosing empathy and perspective over assumption and judgment, you not only become more compassionate toward others, but also extend greater kindness to yourself. In the end, ask yourself this fundamental question: do I want to cling to my anger, or do I want to live with freedom and peace? The answer lies within your control. When you release the habit of judging others, you naturally begin to loosen your grip on the desire to control. This opens your eyes to a powerful truth. Much of the tension and disappointment in life comes from our expectation that others should behave according to our preferences. But life doesn't function on our terms. People, with all their complexities and unique circumstances, act based on their own motivations, many of which we may never fully comprehend. This brings up a deeper question. Is control truly the path to peace? Or does peace arise when we let go of the need to control? This question strikes at the very heart of Stoic philosophy. Instead of expending energy trying to reshape what lies beyond our reach, we can choose to accept things as they are, and in doing so, free ourselves from much of life's unnecessary stress. You can't dictate the direction life takes, but you can always govern how you respond. Imagine you're driving during peak traffic hours. The roads are jammed, the horns are blaring, and you're about to be late. You feel frustration bubbling up. Why can't people drive better? Or, why is the traffic always like this? But the truth is, you can't alter how others drive or instantly clear the roads. What you can control, however, is your mindset. You can choose to become agitated, or you can take a breath and accept that this situation is simply outside your influence. Though it might seem straightforward, the act of letting go of control can radically transform your daily experience. Think of a mother who constantly worries about her child's academic performance. She wants the best and fears failure. But no matter how deeply she cares, she cannot take the exams for her child. Or picture an employee frustrated with their boss's decisions. No matter how much they disagree, they can't force their boss to think differently. Much of our emotional distress arises from pinning high hopes on things we can't control. When those expectations go unmet, disappointment and resentment naturally follow. I once knew a young entrepreneur who poured his soul into developing a new tech product. His vision was ambitious. He wanted to revolutionize an entire industry. But when he finally launched the product, the market response was lukewarm at best. He was crushed. He blamed the customers for failing to grasp its brilliance and suspected rivals were sabotaging him. This mindset kept him trapped in bitterness. During a conversation, I encouraged him to shift focus. Instead of brooding over what others weren't doing, what could he do differently? Slowly, he began to refine his approach, adjusted the product, and embraced the slow, often humbling journey of growth. By focusing only on what was within his control, he found new clarity, regained his creative spark, and eventually surpassed his earlier goals. This is the essence of Stoicism in practice, recognizing when you're placing energy into the unchangeable and choosing instead to focus on what you can influence. In moments of stress, ask yourself, is this within my control? Am I improving the situation by reacting this way, or am I making it worse? These aren't just philosophical questions, they're practical tools for emotional clarity. Letting go of control doesn't mean you give up or resign yourself to passivity. It means directing your energy wisely toward your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Imagine rowing a small boat down a river. You can't stop the current, but you can learn to steer with precision, adjusting to the flow and moving forward with ease. A valuable Stoic practice for this mindset is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. Each morning, spend a moment imagining potential setbacks, a delayed train, a cancelled meeting, a friend letting you down. By anticipating these possibilities, you make peace with them before they even occur. When they do, you'll find yourself far more prepared to accept them calmly. Letting go of control isn't a weakness. It's an extraordinary act of strength. It's a form of freedom. When you stop clinging to what you can't hold, you create space for peace, creativity, and inner power. Begin with small steps. Resist the urge to argue someone into agreeing with you. Stop replaying the past. Stop grasping for guarantees in life. Life is like a river, always flowing, often unpredictable. But when you learn to stop resisting and instead navigate with grace, you discover that peace isn't something you need to chase. It's something you create, moment by moment, choice by choice. When people don't act the way we expect them to, it's easy to feel upset or disappointed. But have you ever paused to wonder why we even expect perfection from others or the world around us? According to Stoic philosophy, this expectation of perfection is not only unrealistic, but also a major source of emotional suffering. The idea that everything should go according to our standards is an illusion, and by recognizing this, we begin to free ourselves from the negative emotions that arise when reality doesn't meet our demands. Reflect on your experiences. Have you ever been let down because a coworker didn't do their part, causing setbacks in your own work? Or maybe you felt hurt when someone close to you didn't keep a promise or said something unkind. These situations are not rare, yet we often react with the assumption that people should be flawless. But is that a fair expectation? The Stoic philosopher Epictetus teaches that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but rather our judgments about those events. Our anger and frustration don't come from what people do, but from how we choose to view their actions. The world is naturally messy, unpredictable, and flawed. It was never meant to function according to our preferences. Trying to mold it to our will only leads to suffering. Let's consider a specific case. Imagine you spent days preparing for a vital presentation. You gave it your all, but right before it began, the colleague in charge of the supporting materials made some critical mistakes or left out important content. The initial reaction might be overwhelming frustration. You might think, how could they be so careless after all my effort? But from a Stoic viewpoint, this reaction doesn't serve you. The mistake has already happened, and blaming someone else only increases your distress. A more empowering response would be to ask, what can I do right now to make the best of this situation? Accepting that people make mistakes allows you to stay calm and think clearly, which in turn helps you find better solutions. Stoicism teaches that our focus should remain on what we can control. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, advised that we begin each day by reminding ourselves we will likely encounter rudeness, ingratitude, arrogance, betrayal, hostility, and selfishness. These aren't exceptions to the rule, they are part of life. He explained that such behaviors stem from ignorance, from a lack of understanding about what is truly good or bad. By anticipating these imperfections, we mentally prepare ourselves to respond with patience and strength. This isn't about being negative, it's about being realistic and equipping ourselves emotionally to handle life's unpredictability. Embracing the world's imperfections can also change the way we handle everyday conflicts. When someone fails to keep a promise, rather than immediately feeling betrayed, you can remind yourself that everyone is fighting battles you can't see. If you're feeling misunderstood, resist the urge to become defensive. Instead, calmly try to clarify your thoughts. Perhaps the other person didn't mean to offend, but simply didn't grasp your perspective. If someone is rude or critical, ask yourself whether their words truly injure you or whether it's your own interpretation that's creating the pain. To accept imperfection doesn't mean we stop trying to grow or improve the world around us. On the contrary, this mindset liberates us. When we stop demanding that others meet our personal standards, we free ourselves from constant disappointment and can instead invest our energy in what truly matters. Take personal relationships, for example. We often expect our partner to understand us completely, to instinctively know our feelings and needs. But even the most loving person can't read your mind. When you stop blaming them for not meeting your unspoken expectations and instead ask yourself whether you could express your needs more clearly, you not only reduce frustration, but also strengthen your relationship through better communication. When we truly embrace imperfection, we begin to find beauty in flaws. The coworker who forgets deadlines, the friend who lets you down, the stranger who speaks harshly, all of these become chances to practice compassion and resilience. Ask yourself, have I ever made mistakes? If you desire understanding and forgiveness from others, shouldn't you be willing to extend the same to them? This shift in thinking reminds us that every human being is flawed, just as we are, and most are doing the best they can with the circumstances they face. Seneca, another great Stoic thinker, said that true freedom belongs to the brave. Having the courage to face and accept imperfection is not only a sign of compassion, it is a key to inner peace. You don't need a perfect world to be happy. When you stop expecting perfection from people or from life, you take a massive weight off your shoulders. Marcus Aurelius noted that your life's happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. By training your mind to accept life as it is, not as you wish it to be, you begin to find peace amidst the chaos. This approach doesn't mean settling for less or tolerating harmful behavior. Rather, it's about mastering the art of living, one based on clarity, patience, and wisdom. As we start to accept the world's flaws, we arrive at a deeper realization. The way we feel about life's events is not dictated by the events themselves, but by our internal responses. This leads us to an even more personal challenge, learning to take responsibility for our emotions. The outside world is full of disorder, and people will often fail to meet our expectations. Things will rarely go exactly as we plan, but must these things shake us to our core? Accepting life's external imperfections is one part of the equation. The more difficult and more rewarding part is learning to regulate how we respond emotionally to what happens around us. This brings up a vital question. Who really controls your feelings? You or the circumstances you encounter? Stoic philosophy urges us to confront this truth head-on. Picture yourself standing in a crowded supermarket line on a hectic weekend. The place is buzzing with noise and stress. Suddenly, someone cuts in front of you without saying a word. No apology, no acknowledgement. Almost immediately, you feel a surge of irritation. You might think, "How rude." The impulse to speak up angrily or to stew in frustration is strong. But here's where you can take a pause and reflect. Is this person's inconsiderate action really worth disrupting your peace? They may have acted poorly, but your emotions are still your responsibility. Why should you allow their behavior to take charge of how you feel? If you choose calmness, you'll notice something powerful. The irritation begins to melt away. That person may continue without ever realizing what they did, but their behavior no longer has any control over your mood. The cue may take a few minutes longer, but your inner stability remains untouched. What could have been a spark for hours of negativity turns into just another moment in the day, easily forgotten. Every day, we unknowingly give others control over our emotions. A harsh comment, a dismissive look, or a forgotten favor can make us feel hurt or angry. But why do we give other people such power over our emotional state? Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, reminded us that we have complete control over our minds, even if we can't control outside events. In that control lies our strength. His insight reveals a timeless truth. While you can't determine how others behave, you always have the power to choose how you respond. Think back to a time when you were unjustly criticized, maybe at work or by someone close to you. The natural reaction might have been anger, maybe even a desire to defend yourself. But imagine if, in that moment, you had reminded yourself that your value doesn't depend on one person's opinion, and that your peace of mind is not up for negotiation. That would change everything. How can we begin to develop this level of emotional mastery? The answer lies in simple but powerful practices. Start by learning to harness the power of the pause. When something upsets you, resist the immediate impulse to react. Instead, ask yourself a few key questions. Am I overreacting? Or, is this moment really worth disturbing my peace? This brief pause, though seemingly small, creates a vital gap between the trigger and your response. In that space, you gain the ability to make a conscious choice, to choose calm over chaos, wisdom over impulse. Another deeply effective approach, one rooted in ancient Stoic tradition, is to keep a daily journal of your emotions. Each evening, take a few quiet moments to reflect. Ask yourself, what stirred my emotions today? What situations challenged my inner balance? How did I respond, and could I have chosen a wiser response? This daily practice is more than just writing. It's a mirror into your emotional life. Over time, it reveals patterns, moments where you consistently lose your composure, and gives you the clarity and discipline to change your reactions. Slowly but surely, this builds a resilient mindset. Owning your emotions is the cornerstone of a more peaceful life. The truth is, no one can truly make you angry or upset unless you give them that power. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius captured this timeless wisdom when he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." These words are not just theory, they are a call to action. They remind us that emotions, while powerful, are our possession. They are not the result of what someone else says or does, but of how we interpret and internalize the situation. Your peace of mind is your responsibility. When you learn to protect it, fiercely but calmly, you will find that very little in this world can truly disturb your inner spirit. So ask yourself, does this way of thinking resonate with you? If it does, take a moment to like this message and share your own thoughts in the comments. I'd truly love to hear your personal stories and reflections. And if you see things differently, I welcome your perspective as well. Your insights might ignite a meaningful and enriching conversation that helps us all grow. Let's keep growing together as we move forward into the next timeless principle. Lesson number 6. Practice non-reaction. In life, unexpected moments often catch us by surprise. A colleague might publicly criticize you during a meeting, leaving you stunned and embarrassed. A stranger may rudely cut in front of you in a line you've been patiently standing in. Or someone might throw a sharp and careless remark your way, leaving you feeling offended or even angry. These types of encounters, though they may seem small, can easily shake your mood and stir up feelings of resentment and frustration. But is there a better way to handle such moments? Is there a way to remain grounded and composed, even when others act out of line? The answer lies in mastering the ancient yet powerful art of non-reaction. Epictetus, one of the great voices of Stoicism, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple truth holds immense power. When you pause and reflect on it, you begin to see that your emotional state is not determined by other people's behavior, but by how you choose to perceive and respond to it. Take the earlier example of being criticized during a meeting. Your initial reaction might be to feel embarrassed or irritated, especially if the criticism is public and unexpected. You might feel the urge to immediately defend yourself or push back to protect your pride. But what if you paused instead? What if, in that brief space between stimulus and response, you asked yourself, why should I let this define my mood or my worth? That colleague's hasty or insensitive words don't actually diminish your capabilities. They only reflect their own mindset in that moment. By choosing not to react emotionally, you protect your peace, maintain your professionalism, and show strength, not weakness. Consider an alternative and more stoic approach. You smile calmly and respond, "Thank you for the feedback. I'll address that after I finish presenting my ideas." With that single response, you seize control of the situation. The colleague, expecting a defensive reaction, is instead met with grace and composure. And you, rather than being flustered or rattled, walk away from the meeting with confidence and inner calm. This is the quiet power of non-reaction. Seneca, another towering figure of Stoicism, once advised, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." One of the most effective ways to master non-reaction is to give yourself time. When someone insults you or challenges you unfairly, resist the temptation to fire back immediately. Instead, take a breath. Reflect. If the conflict is over email, delay your reply by an hour or even a full day. Time grants you clarity, and clarity allows you to respond wisely rather than impulsively. Sometimes the strongest response is silence. Choosing not to retaliate doesn't mean you are weak. On the contrary, it means you are in full control. By refusing to be provoked, you remain the master of your inner state. There's a wise old saying, "If a donkey kicks you and you kick back, you're both donkeys." This humorous yet profound parable teaches that reacting to negativity with more negativity only pulls you down to the same level. But when you rise above it, when you choose not to engage, you preserve your dignity and your peace. Picture a heated argument. Each word adds fuel to the fire, but then imagine one person stops speaking. They no longer react. Eventually the flames die down. Without fuel, anger cannot survive. The one who steps back from the conflict emerges not as weak, but as wise. They have chosen peace over pride and have protected their emotional balance. Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you lost your temper over something that in hindsight was trivial? Was the anger worth it? If you could return to that moment, would you respond differently? These are powerful questions that invite us to become more self-aware and more in control of ourselves. Marcus Aurelius captured it best when he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This wisdom isn't abstract, it's practical. It means that even in the chaos of life, you always have the power to reclaim your peace. Mastering non-reaction doesn't mean you accept mistreatment or remain passive in the face of injustice. It means you become discerning, choosing where your energy is best spent and refusing to waste it on meaningless provocation. By embracing non-reaction, you gain emotional mastery. You protect your peace. You develop a strong, grounded soul that cannot be easily shaken by outside forces. Remind yourself every day, you cannot control the actions of others, but you can always control your response. In a world full of noise, calmness, silence, and an unshaken heart are your greatest strengths. This is the essence of Stoicism. Now, let's explore the next vital teaching. Lesson number 7. Find joy in selflessness. As we learn to stay calm and resist the urge to react hastily to the world around us, something remarkable begins to happen. Our inner world begins to lighten. The burdens we once carried, anger, irritation, resentment, begin to lift. The things that used to trigger us now feel like minor ripples in the vast river of life. And in that space where bitterness used to reside, something new and beautiful takes root. A quiet, radiant joy. The joy of understanding, of compassion, and of giving without expectation. As our hearts soften and open, we make room for empathy and love. We begin to see that sometimes the most powerful way to protect our peace is to simply forgive, to let go, to offer kindness even when it is not returned. This is not weakness, it is transcendence. It is the mind finding clarity and the heart expanding to embrace others, even those who fall short. Marcus Aurelius beautifully reminds us in his writings that when we wake in the morning, we should take a moment to reflect on the privilege of being alive, to think, to experience joy, and to love. These are gifts that each new day provides. These simple yet profound words serve as a gentle reminder of the blessings life offers us. Every morning is an opportunity to love, to help others, and to live with a heart that is more open and receptive than it was the day before. Through the lens of Marcus Aurelius, forgiveness is not something distant or difficult to attain. It is simply an awareness that helping others brings joy, not just to them, but also to ourselves. I recall a story about a friend who worked in a highly stressful environment where he was frequently criticized, sometimes unfairly, by his colleagues. Instead of responding with anger or frustration, he chose to pause and reflect. He asked himself, "Are they going through something that I don't know about?" One day, he learned that a colleague who had been particularly critical was facing severe financial struggles. This revelation changed his entire perspective. Rather than retaliating, he chose to remain silent, to listen, and even offered help when he could. Over time, this approach not only improved their relationship, but also created a more positive and less tense atmosphere in the workplace. The same principle can be applied to our family lives. Minor disagreements in families often have the potential to escalate into major arguments. Imagine having a relative who constantly criticizes you, no matter what you do. Their words might hurt deeply, but it's important to remember that their criticism often comes from their own insecurities or struggles, rather than from a genuine desire to hurt you. When you understand this, it becomes much easier to disarm your own anger. Choosing forgiveness doesn't mean you accept wrongdoing. It means you choose not to let it dictate how you feel or control your emotional state. Anger frequently arises from our expectations of others. We expect people to behave according to our standards, but life is inherently imperfect. Everyone carries unseen burdens, and recognizing this fact allows us to let go of our expectations. Once these expectations fade, there is no longer a reason for anger to take root. The beauty of forgiveness is that it not only helps us move beyond anger, but also brings a deep sense of joy and relief. Reflect for a moment. Can you recall a time when you helped someone without expecting anything in return? How did it feel? It was likely a peaceful, fulfilling experience, one that brought a sense of purpose and joy that surpassed any material reward. Epictetus once wisely stated, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Practicing forgiveness is not only about giving to others, it is about reclaiming control over our own emotions. It is a form of spiritual freedom, a state of peace that cannot be bought with material wealth. Modern research supports this idea. People who regularly engage in acts of kindness and selflessness report higher levels of happiness. The teachings of Stoicism, which have endured for millennia, understood this truth deeply. Forgiveness is not merely a moral virtue, it is a path to a fuller, more meaningful life. Take a moment to ask yourself, can I see this situation from the other person's perspective? What might be driving their behavior? These questions, when practiced regularly, can help ease discomfort and foster understanding. When was the last time you helped someone without expecting anything in return? How did it make you feel? Reflecting on such moments can guide you toward practicing forgiveness daily. It doesn't have to be a complicated or difficult process. Sometimes, it's as simple as showing patience with someone's carelessness or refraining from trying to control things that are beyond your power. Instead of clinging to anger, focus on bettering yourself. When you extend kindness to someone, be grateful for the opportunity to do so and let go of any resentment. Seneca, in his timeless wisdom, beautifully said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Wherever life places us, we have the chance to offer compassion. Choose forgiveness, not just for others, but also for yourself." Through giving and understanding, we build a better world for both ourselves and those around us. Forgiveness is not just an action. It is the key to living freely and peacefully. In conclusion, we have explored 7 methods for maintaining inner peace and remaining unaffected by the anger or annoyance caused by others. These principles are not merely philosophical musings. They are practical tools that guide us toward true inner freedom. By embracing acceptance, we learn to align with life itself. By letting go of judgment, we free ourselves from the burdens of bias. By relinquishing control and embracing imperfection, we take responsibility for our emotions and practice non-reactivity. All of these steps bring us closer to genuine self-mastery. Along this journey, finding joy in compassion becomes the greatest gift we can offer, not just to others, but to ourselves as well. If you found this video helpful and have not yet liked it, please take a moment to do so. Your support truly helps us spread these positive values. Have you ever felt like someone's words or actions ruined your entire day? Maybe it was a rude comment, a thoughtless gesture, or even just an unexpected inconvenience. It's frustrating, isn't it? But here's the truth. No one has the power to control your emotions unless you let them. What if you could stay calm and unshaken no matter what life or anyone else throws your way? Imagine walking through your day with a sense of peace so strong that even the most irritating situations couldn't rattle you. That's not just wishful thinking, it's emotional mastery. In this episode, we're diving into 10 transformative lessons that will help you stop reacting impulsively, let go of anger, and regain control over your emotions. These lessons aren't about ignoring your feelings or pretending not to care. They're about building the mental strength to navigate life's challenges with grace and clarity. Whether it's dealing with criticism, setting boundaries, or learning to let go of grudges, you'll discover practical tools to protect your peace and live with confidence. By the end of this episode, you'll have the mindset and strategies you need to stay unbothered, even in the most difficult situations. So, if you're ready to unlock the secret to emotional freedom and live a life where no one else can control your mood, let's get started. Your journey to mastering your emotions begins now. 1. Understand that your reactions are your choice. Picture this. You're in the middle of a peaceful day, maybe sipping coffee or walking through the park, when suddenly someone says something rude or inconsiderate. Your calm vanishes, replaced by anger or frustration. You think, why did they ruin my day? But here's the truth. They didn't. You did. Your emotions are your responsibility, not theirs. No one has the power to control how you feel unless you hand that power to them. Think of it this way. The world can throw challenges at you, but only you decide how to react. Let me offer a fresh perspective. Imagine you're wearing noise-cancelling headphones in a busy city. The chaos of honking cars and loud conversations doesn't disappear. It's still there. But it doesn't reach you. Mastering your reactions works the same way. You don't have to let the noise of other people's behavior invade your peace. A wise thought captures this beautifully. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. When someone cuts you off in traffic or criticizes your work unfairly, it's easy to blame them for your anger. But what if, instead of reacting, you paused? In that pause, you find power. The power to choose calm over chaos, strength over impulsiveness. Here's a real-world example. Imagine your coworker dismisses your idea during a meeting. Instead of snapping back or stewing in resentment all day, take a moment to breathe and reflect. Is this about me, or is it their own stress or bias showing? By reframing the situation, you neutralize its impact on your emotions. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about suppressing how you feel, it's about recognizing that your feelings are separate from your reactions. Anger, frustration, and disappointment are natural, but they don't have to dictate what you do next. Here's a simple strategy to start practicing this mindset. Pause and identify when you feel triggered. Pause and name the emotion you're experiencing. Anger, hurt, irritation. This breaks the automatic reaction cycle. Ask questions. Reflect on why you're feeling this way. Is it because of what happened or your interpretation of it? Choose your response. Decide how you want to act based on your values and long-term peace, not the heat of the moment. Imagine the freedom of walking through life unbothered by others' actions, the rude stranger, the thoughtless remark, the minor inconvenience. All of them lose their grip on you when you take control of your reactions. In every moment, you have a choice. You can let others dictate your emotions, or you can reclaim your power and protect your peace. The next time someone tries to push your buttons, remember, their behavior doesn't define you. Your reaction does, and in choosing calm, you gain not just emotional mastery, but true freedom. 2. Stop expecting people to behave like you. Have you ever been disappointed by someone who, when you find yourself in need, is nowhere to be found? Disappointment washes over you, and you think, how could they be so inconsiderate? I would never treat them this way. Here's the hard truth. People don't operate by your standards or values. They act based on their own. Expecting others to think, behave, or respond the way you would is like trying to control the weather. It's impossible and only leads to frustration. Think of it this way. Each person is walking their own path, shaped by their experiences, beliefs, and priorities. When someone does something that annoys or hurts you, it's often not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. Trying to change or control their behavior only leaves you feeling powerless. Instead of focusing on how others should act, focus on accepting them as they are. Let me give you an example. Imagine a coworker who constantly interrupts during meetings. Instead of seething with frustration or trying to teach them a lesson, recognize that their habit has nothing to do with you. By letting go of the expectation that they'll change, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil. A wise thought sums this up perfectly. Expectations are the root of all suffering. The less you expect others to behave in a certain way, the more you protect your peace. Here's a practical exercise to help you let go of these expectations. Acknowledge your assumptions. When someone upsets you, ask yourself, what was I expecting them to do? Challenge that expectation. Reflect on whether it's realistic to expect someone else to act exactly as you would. Shift your focus. Instead of trying to control their behavior, focus on how you can respond calmly and maintain your peace. Think about how liberating this mindset is. The rude stranger, the forgetful friend, the inconsiderate co-worker, none of them have the power to disrupt your emotions unless you let them. When you stop expecting others to meet your standards, you take back control of your reactions. In the end, people are who they are, not who you want them to be. Accepting this truth doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior or abandoning your values. It means recognizing that your peace is too valuable to sacrifice for something you can't control. The next time someone disappoints or frustrates you, pause and remind yourself, they're acting from their nature, not mine. And that's okay, because I choose my response. By releasing those expectations, you gain freedom, not just from others' actions, but from the emotional weight they once carried. Think about the last time you got into an argument. Maybe it was over something trivial, like which route was faster, or something deeper, like a disagreement with a close friend or partner. As the conversation heated up, did you feel that strong urge to prove your point, to show them you were right? We've all been there, clinging to our version of the truth like it's a lifeline. But here's the thing, that need to always be right is exhausting and unnecessary. The need to win every argument or prove your perspective often stems from insecurity. It's as if being wrong threatens our worth or identity. But what if you could let go of that need entirely? What if you could approach disagreements with curiosity instead of defensiveness? A powerful thought to keep in mind is this: would you rather be right, or would you rather be at peace? Often, our insistence on being right creates tension, damages relationships, and fuels our frustration. On the other hand, letting go of the need to prove yourself allows you to preserve your peace and approach conflicts with understanding. Imagine someone accuses you of something unfair. Your instinct might be to defend yourself, to argue your case, or to point out their flaws in return. But what if you paused and asked yourself, is it worth my energy to prove them wrong? Will this argument change anything important in my life? In most cases, the answer is no. Here's an example. A friend might insist that their way of handling a problem is better than yours. Instead of diving into a debate, you could say, I see where you're coming from, and I respect your perspective. By doing this, you not only diffuse the tension, but also maintain your calm and avoid unnecessary conflict. The Taoist philosopher Lao offers timeless wisdom. He who is attached to his views will never grow. Letting go of the need to be right doesn't mean abandoning your principles or silencing your voice. It means recognizing that not every disagreement needs a resolution in your favor. It's about choosing when to engage and when to step back. Pause before responding. When you feel the urge to argue, take a deep breath and reflect on whether it's worth your energy. Seek understanding. Instead of trying to win, ask questions to understand the other person's perspective. This approach often de-escalates conflict. Pick your battles. Save your energy for disagreements that truly matter, ones that align with your values or affect significant outcomes. Over time,
you'll find that letting go of the need to always be right brings immense freedom. You'll start noticing how much lighter and calmer you feel when you stop trying to control every conversation or prove every point. Arguments lose their grip on your emotions because you've chosen peace over pride.
Remember, your value isn't tied to winning debates or proving your intelligence. It's in how you carry yourself, how you protect your energy, and how you maintain your inner peace. The next time you're tempted to argue, pause and remind yourself, being right won't make me happy, but being calm will. And in that moment, you'll experience the true power of letting go. Imagine this. You're excitedly sharing an idea, something you're truly passionate about, and someone interrupts with a dismissive comment. Their words cut deep, and suddenly, the confidence you felt disappears. Why does this happen? It's because we often let others' words define how we see ourselves. Here's the truth. Your worth isn't determined by someone else's opinion. It's not tied to their compliments, criticisms, or judgments. When you rely on others to validate you, you hand them the power to control your emotions. True emotional freedom comes when you take that power back. Let's consider an example. A colleague criticizes your work, not constructively, but in a way that feels harsh or personal. Your instinct might be to defend yourself or feel disheartened. But what if, instead of reacting, you paused and reminded yourself, their words reflect their perspective, not my value. By detaching your worth from their opinion, you protect your peace and maintain your focus. Marcus Aurelius captured this wisdom perfectly. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. This isn't about ignoring feedback or dismissing others entirely. It's about filtering what truly matters. Constructive criticism can help you grow, but unwarranted negativity doesn't deserve space in your mind. Pause before reacting. When someone's words sting, take a moment to breathe. This pause gives you the chance to choose your response instead of reacting impulsively. Separate fact from opinion. Ask yourself, is there truth in what they're saying, or is it just their perspective? Focus on what helps you grow and let the rest go. Reaffirm your worth. Remind yourself that your value isn't tied to anyone else's approval. Your worth is intrinsic, independent of external validation. Lao offers another layer of wisdom. Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Letting go of the need for validation doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop caring about opinions that don't serve your growth. By doing so, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional weight. The next time someone's words challenge your confidence, pause and ask yourself, am I letting this define me, or can I choose to focus on what I know to be true about myself? In that moment, you reclaim your power and remind yourself that no one's words can diminish your value unless you let them. True strength lies not in avoiding criticism, but in knowing your worth regardless of it. When you stop letting others' words define you, you create space for authenticity, confidence, and peace. And that's a life no one can take from you. 5. Protect your energy by setting boundaries. Picture this. A friend calls you in the middle of your busy day, asking for help with something they could probably handle on their own. Or perhaps a coworker dumps a last-minute task on you, assuming you'll say yes. You feel the weight of obligation, but also the frustration of knowing this will disrupt your plans. Why is it so hard to say no? Here's the truth. Protecting your peace
requires setting boundaries. And boundaries aren't selfish, they're necessary. Without them, you let others dictate your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Saying yes to everyone else often means saying no to yourself. A powerful reminder comes to mind. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly giving without protecting your energy, you'll find yourself burned out, resentful, and disconnected from your own needs. Boundaries are how you safeguard your emotional freedom while maintaining healthy relationships. Think about this. When someone oversteps your boundaries, it's not their fault. It's yours for not clearly defining and upholding them. People aren't mind readers, and unless you communicate what you're okay with, they'll continue to push, often unintentionally. Setting boundaries is a form of self-respect, and it also teaches others to respect you. Here's an example. Imagine you're always the person friends come to for advice, even late at night. You want to be supportive, but it's draining your energy. Instead of silently resenting them, you could say something like, "I care about you, but I need to keep evenings for myself to recharge. Let's talk tomorrow instead." This approach is firm yet kind, and it protects your peace without damaging the relationship. Epictetus reminds us, freedom is the ability to live as we wish. Living freely doesn't mean ignoring others' needs. It means deciding where your energy is best spent. Boundaries let you choose your priorities and ensure you're not giving more than you can handle. Here's how to start setting boundaries effectively. Be clear and honest. Communicate your limits calmly and directly. People are more likely to respect boundaries when they understand them. Use I statements. Focus on your needs rather than blaming others. For example, say, "I need some quiet time after work," instead of, "You're always bothering me." Stick to your boundaries. Once you set a limit, uphold it. Consistency shows others that you're serious about protecting your space. Lao offers another perspective. He who knows when to stop does not find himself in trouble. This wisdom reminds us that knowing your limits and respecting them prevents unnecessary stress and frustration. Boundaries aren't walls to shut people out. They're bridges to healthier, more balanced relationships. The next time you feel overwhelmed or taken for granted, pause and ask yourself, have I communicated my needs clearly? Am I honoring my own boundaries? By setting limits, you free yourself from unnecessary obligations and reclaim your energy for what truly matters. Remember, you're not responsible for managing everyone else's feelings or fixing their problems. Your primary responsibility is to yourself, your peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. So protect your energy, set your boundaries, and watch how much lighter and more in control you feel. Because when you prioritize yourself, you give the best version of yourself to the world. 6. Detach from the opinions of others. Imagine this. You share an idea you're proud of with a group of people, but instead of support, you're met with criticism or indifference. That sting of disappointment is real, and it can spiral into self-doubt. But here's a question to ask yourself. Why does their opinion carry so much weight? The need for approval is deeply ingrained in us. But relying on external validation is like chasing shadows. You'll never truly catch it. Emotional freedom begins when you stop letting the opinions of others define your worth. Think of it this way. Everyone views the world through their own lens, shaped by their experiences, biases, and insecurities. What someone says about you often reveals more about them than it does about you. When you internalize their opinions, you give them power over your emotions and decisions. Why let someone else control your narrative?
A simple yet powerful thought to remember. Your worth isn't up for debate. It's not tied to what others think of you, whether it's praise or criticism. It's something intrinsic, unshaken by external noise. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you're wearing a brand new outfit you love, and a coworker makes a passing remark. That's an interesting choice. You could let their comment ruin your confidence, or you could remind yourself that their opinion doesn't diminish your joy. When you detach from the need for approval, you free yourself to live authentically. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This might sound harsh, but it's liberating. Growth often involves going against the grain or doing things others might not understand. Seeking approval can hold you back, while embracing your own path, even if misunderstood, sets you free. Here's how to start detaching from the opinions of others. Question their importance. When someone's opinion bothers you, ask yourself, why does this matter to me? What authority do they have over my life? Reaffirm your values. Focus on what matters to you, not what others expect. Ground yourself in your goals and principles. Practice letting go. When criticism or judgment arises, acknowledge it without clinging to it. Picture their words as leaves floating down a stream, there, but not lasting. Lao offers another perspective. Care about people's approval, and you will be their prisoner. This doesn't mean ignoring feedback or isolating yourself from others. It means filtering out what doesn't serve you. Constructive criticism can help you grow, but unwarranted judgment, that's theirs to carry, not yours. Think of detaching from opinions like shielding yourself from bad weather. The rain may fall, but it doesn't have to soak you. By focusing on your own inner compass, you remain grounded no matter how others perceive you. The next time someone's words shake your confidence, pause and ask yourself, am I living for them or for me? By choosing to detach, you reclaim your freedom, protect your peace, and build a life that's authentically yours. Remember, your path is yours alone, and it's far too important to be swayed by fleeting opinions. Respond with silence, not anger. Imagine this. You're in a heated argument. Someone says something hurtful or intentionally provocative, and you feel the anger rising. Your heart pounds, your face heats up, and your instinct is to fire back with a cutting remark. But what if instead of reacting, you simply say nothing? Silence is one of the most powerful tools you have when dealing with others' negativity. It's not about conceding or avoiding confrontation, it's about choosing calm over chaos. Responding with silence doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to value your peace over the need to retaliate. There's wisdom in this. The less you respond to negativity, the more peaceful your life becomes. Silence speaks volumes. It says, I won't let your behavior control me. Let's take an example. Imagine someone at work undermines you during a meeting, trying to make you look bad in front of others. You have two choices: engage in a back-and-forth argument or pause and respond with silence. By staying silent, you deny them the reaction they seek and maintain your composure, showing everyone around you who truly holds the higher ground. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The best answer to anger is silence. Anger often seeks fuel to keep burning, and silence starves it. When you choose not to engage, you break the cycle of negativity and protect your emotional well-being." Think of silence as a shield. It deflects the noise without pulling you into the fight. Here's how to make silence your go-to response in moments of provocation. pause before reacting. When someone says something provocative, take a moment to breathe. Silence creates space for clarity. Listen without defending. Sometimes people just want to vent or be heard. Let them speak without interrupting or feeling the need to explain yourself. Speak only when necessary. If a response is required, keep it calm, measured, and to the point. A Buddhist teaching reminds us, speak only if it improves upon the silence. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you choose when and how to express them. Silence doesn't ignore the problem. It preserves your energy for moments where your voice truly matters. Think about how often we regret words said in anger. Silence removes that regret. It allows you to reflect, reassess, and respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. And often, silence says more than words ever could. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause and ask yourself, will responding add value, or will it simply escalate the situation? By choosing silence, you protect your peace, demonstrate strength, and keep control of the narrative. Remember, silence isn't the absence of a response, it's the presence of wisdom. It's the ability to rise above the noise and say, your words don't control me, my peace does. And that's how you win the battle without ever raising your voice. Practice gratitude. Imagine you're having one of those days where everything seems to go wrong. Your plans fall apart, someone makes a rude comment, and the smallest inconveniences feel unbearable. Anger starts bubbling up and you think, why does everything have to be so difficult? Now pause. What if, instead of focusing on everything going wrong, you shifted your attention to what's going right? Gratitude has a way of turning anger into calm and reframing even the worst moments into opportunities for perspective and peace. Here's a powerful truth. You can't feel grateful and angry at the same time. Gratitude works like a mental reset button. It pulls you out of the spiral of negativity and reminds you of the good that still exists, even in frustrating situations. Take a simple example. You're stuck in traffic, running late to an important appointment. Instead of fuming at the cars ahead, try this. Take a deep breath and think of 3 things you're thankful for. Maybe it's the fact that you have a car, the opportunity you're headed toward, or even just the music playing on the radio. It might sound small, but this shift can transform your emotional state almost instantly. The philosopher Cicero said, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others." Gratitude doesn't just dissolve anger, it builds resilience, fosters patience, and helps you focus on what truly matters. It's a tool you can use anytime, anywhere, to protect your peace. Here's how to make gratitude a daily habit. Pause and reflect. When anger starts to rise, take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, what's one thing I can be thankful for right now? Keep a gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 things that went well, no matter how small they seem. This trains your mind to look for the positive. Use gratitude as a reframe. When faced with a challenge, think about what you can learn or how the situation could be worse. Gratitude often comes from recognizing what you still have. For example, let's say someone criticizes you harshly. Instead of letting anger take over, try reframing it. I'm grateful for the chance to learn from this feedback, even if it wasn't delivered kindly. This doesn't excuse the other person's behavior, but it keeps you in control of your emotions. The Buddha reminds us, let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful.
Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's present. It's not about denying frustration or anger. It's about choosing to prioritize what uplifts you over what drags you down. The next time you feel anger creeping in, pause and ask yourself, what can I be thankful for in this moment? You'll find that gratitude doesn't just dissolve the anger, it replaces it with calm, clarity, and a sense of control. And in those moments, you'll realize that peace isn't something you find, it's something you create. Reframe. Criticism as a tool for growth. Imagine this. You've just shared an idea you're proud of, maybe at work with friends or online, and someone immediately shoots it down with harsh criticism. Your first instinct? Defensiveness, maybe even anger. It's natural to feel this way when your efforts are met with negativity. But what if you could reframe criticism, seeing it not as an attack, but as an opportunity to grow? Criticism, no matter how it's delivered, holds value if you're willing to look for it. It can show you blind spots, challenge your thinking, or push you to improve. When you shift your perspective, criticism stops being a source of frustration and becomes a tool for self-betterment. Here's an example. Imagine you're preparing a presentation and a colleague points out several flaws in your work. You could dismiss them, thinking, they're just trying to undermine me, or you could pause and reflect. Is there truth in what they're saying? How can I use this feedback to improve? By choosing the second approach, you turn what might feel like an attack into a stepping stone. A wise thought captures this perfectly. Criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish growth without destroying roots. This doesn't mean all criticism is valid or worth your attention. Some people criticize out of envy, ignorance, or malice. The key is to filter what you hear, keeping what's constructive and discarding what's not. Here's how to handle criticism with grace. Pause before reacting. When faced with criticism, take a moment to breathe. This helps you avoid reacting emotionally. Evaluate the source. Consider who's giving the feedback. Do they have your best interests in mind? Is their perspective informed? Find the lesson. Even poorly delivered criticism can carry a valuable insight. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Let's take a more personal example. Imagine a family member makes a critical remark about your choices, like your career or lifestyle. Instead of arguing or shutting down, you could say, I hear your concerns. I'll think about what you've said. This response shows maturity and gives you the chance to reflect later without escalating the conflict. Epictetus offers a timeless reminder. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, he does not know my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these. This Stoic wisdom reminds us not to take criticism too personally. Instead, see it as part of the journey towards self-improvement. The next time someone critiques you, ask yourself, what can I learn from this feedback? Is this criticism about me, or does it reflect more about them? How can I grow from this moment? Lao Tzu reminds us, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Criticism, when approached with the right mindset, is a mirror that helps you understand yourself better. It's not always comfortable, but growth rarely is. By welcoming feedback, even when it stings, you develop resilience, humility, and a stronger sense of self. So the next time criticism comes your way, pause and reframe it. See it not as an obstacle, but as a stepping stone toward becoming your best self. Remember, growth often hides in discomfort, and those who embrace it unlock a level of strength that no criticism can shake. Master the art of letting go. Imagine holding on to a hot coal, determined to throw it at someone who hurt you. But while you're waiting for the right moment, the coal keeps burning your hand. Anger, grudges, and resentment work the same way. They harm you far more than the person who caused your pain. The real strength lies not in holding on, but in letting go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened. It means releasing the emotional weight that drags you down, freeing yourself from the control of the past. When you let go, you reclaim your energy, your peace, and your ability to focus on the present. The Buddha puts it beautifully. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Think about a time when someone wronged you. Maybe it was a betrayal, an unfair judgment, or an unkind word. How much time did you spend replaying that moment in your mind? How much energy did you waste imagining confrontations or seeking revenge? Letting go is the antidote to this endless cycle. It allows you to move forward instead of staying trapped in the past. Here's an example. Imagine you're at work and a colleague takes credit for your idea. You could spend days stewing over the injustice, letting it affect your mood and productivity. Or you could let it go, recognizing that your worth isn't tied to one moment of recognition. By choosing the latter, you protect your peace and focus on what truly matters, your growth and future opportunities. Lao Tzu offers profound wisdom. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Letting go isn't just about releasing anger or resentment. It's also about letting go of perfectionism, fear of failure, or the need for control. It's about embracing life as it is, with all its unpredictability, and finding freedom in acceptance. Here's how to start practicing the art of letting go. Acknowledge your feelings. Suppressing emotions only makes them stronger. Allow yourself to feel hurt, anger, or disappointment without judgment. Reframe the situation. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow stronger because of it? Focus on the present. Letting go is a choice you make for yourself, not for the other person. Shift your attention to the here and now, where your power lies. Think of letting go like releasing a balloon. The longer you hold on to it, the more it strains your hand. But when you let it float away, you feel lighter and freer. Life becomes less about what happened and more about what's possible. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, do not be disturbed by what is outside your power. Let it go and you will find peace. This doesn't mean letting people walk over you or ignoring injustice. It means choosing where to direct your energy. By letting go of what you can't change, you create space for what you can, a brighter, calmer, and more fulfilling life. So the next time you find yourself clinging to anger or regret, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? What would my life look like if I let this go? The answer will guide you toward emotional freedom, because true strength isn't in holding on, it's in knowing when to release. And when you do, you'll discover that the lighter you feel, the stronger you become. And there you have it, 10 powerful lessons to help you master your emotions and stay unbothered no matter what life throws your way. These aren't just ideas, they're tools you can use every day to protect your peace, build resilience, and take control of your reactions. Remember, the goal isn't to suppress your feelings or become indifferent. It's to respond to life's challenges with clarity and strength. Emotional mastery isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you choose to react. The power to stay calm, centered, and free lies entirely in your hands. As you move forward, take these lessons with you. Practice pausing before you react. Set boundaries that protect your energy and let go of the things and people you can't control. Each time you choose peace over anger, you take one step closer to living the unshakable life you deserve. If you found value in this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might need a little extra calm in their life. And if you have your own tips or experiences about staying unbothered, I'd love to hear them. Drop a comment below. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, emotional freedom isn't a destination. It's a practice. So keep showing up for yourself, stay mindful, and keep growing stronger every day. Until next time, take care and stay unbothered.